We're live. How many people are here to join us? Hello. Hello, Roberto. Let's see who else is here. Hello, John. Letting everyone come in and join us to discuss matters of collecting vinyl. Did you pick up anything today or no?
Me? No, I didn't do any shopping today.
I did, of course. I do it every day.
It seems like you do, yeah.
Well, again, I like either, because I'm doing an auction this weekend, so just making sure I have enough that almost everyone will want.
So what percentage of what you buy do you flip?
Well, I don't like to call it flip. I like to say that I find it a new home.
Yes. What percentage?
I don't know. It depends, because I could buy something I think I'm interested in, get it home and listen to it, and not be. So it really is a matter of things. There's different levels. So there's things that I find that I like and I think others will. So I'll pick those up. That way I feel like I can guarantee that I think it's good. People seem to think I have good taste, I think.
Right.
Hold on. Mark Glassman is being funny. Okay. But
that's what you're putting him up for adoption. He stole my home, but that's okay. Keep going.
So, here's the thing. We don't really own our records. We're renting them.
Oh.
Okay, so then there's records I find that are like, wow, I found this. This is very hard to find. Mm-hmm. And it's pricey. So then I might, or it's very unique and desirable. I'll tell you good, for instance, and it was just like a gut thing. When we went up on that trip to Sacramento, Patrick took us to this record store that's there's two of them in Sacramento. They're descendants from a chain up there. It's a big store. Prices might be a little high. But I found this record and it looked weird to me. It was it's a queer rock band called Gossip. Okay, the record was $15. I looked it up online. It sells for $30 or to $60.
Right.
So I knew I could find it a new home.
Right.
Then, weirdly enough, I get home and, before I crash, I might partake in some herbal treatment, and I'll go on the internet, and that band, the record was from 2006 or 7. That band was on Jimmy Fallon that night. Really? They have a new album coming out, and I go, wow, I'm going to sell that record. And I put it on Discogs. I didn't put it on eBay. And boom, the next day I sold that record.
There you go.
So that was just like, but that kind of shit happens to me a lot,
Right.
So it's a gut thing. So that's sort of right under like a very high desirable records.
Mm-hmm.
Then what you'll see in my auction is I'm bundling stuff.
Yeah,
so let's start. It's weird thing too, where I'll go out to all the places I go. I think my last auction, or maybe the one before it, I just was finding a ton of McCoy Tyner records.
Mm-hmm.
So I put a bundle together, I think, of 8 records. And then hey, are we eavesdropping on your wife's call?
Yeah, are you hearing her? I'm just gonna go talk to her. I'm muting. Keep going.
So then on this auction coming up, I by chance found a ton of Pablos. And in fact, I've said out of spite, I'm getting all the titles that Chad's reissuing for Pablos. And I found some more. Geez, I make people leave. By the way, I hope Dr. Robin comes back. So that's it. And I'm going to show a ton of records. Oh, are you still driving, Norman? Are you going straight through to where you're going? Let us know in the comments below. So on this next auction, I have a bunch of bundles. There'll be Pablo bundles. So I'll show stuff that I've found and picked up, cleaning and listening and stuff like that. So that's what's going on. All right, let me read some comments. What's the definition of serendipity? Me by chance finding stuff. In the Six Eye. Which album is that? Is that the one they keep reissuing with Horace Silver? No. There's the first version of the Jazz Messenger. That's the one they keep He knows he's.
I'm unmuted.
Muted.
Hey, I'm unmuted.
But he was muted because he was protecting his wife's private conversation.
Yes, it was very calm and easy. But yeah, she just needed to understand that this was going on.
Hey, be careful, Mazzy, because you had a filling lunch. You had the In-N-Out with all that stuff. Just eat something better for you.
Well, so, I will say I have been watching for Pablo stuff, and I've noticed there are a number that I am going to want. And then I see they have a lot of Coltrane stuff.
Well, okay, so here's a good rule of thumb with the Pablo stuff. Dude, I don't know how much exposure you've had to this guy. I'm bringing it up, but he's decided to come out of hiding. It's almost like he was in the witness protection program. It's Roger.
What's going on, kids?
Hey, Roger. If you want this, I went to visit my buddy with the Omnivore, and he put out a new record for you. I don't know if you ordered it yet.
What is that one? I have not ordered it yet.
Look what's at the bottom there. Do you think they're saying something?
I think they're saying that it was live in concert somewhere. I can't read.
Okay, so this concert is from Hempstead, New York, June '76.
All right. No, I haven't ordered it, but if
all right,
there's a way to procure a copy.
I will put this, as I say for friends, I will put this in your pile.
I did get this one from Omnivore because they were having a big NRBQ sale.
Yeah, I have the CD box of that.
I think it's, Waxed, I think that should be New Riders of the Purple Haze. I think they missed on their title.
But that's not the name of the band.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think they misnamed themselves.
Well, they did. They called it Hamsteader.
Hamsteader.
Get it?
Oh, Purple
Haze.
Because,
it's hemp.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Well, so, yeah, and I picked up I'll show the Record Store Day records they're putting out. I think maybe Roger might be into one of them, but I'm sending this one to Patrick because he likes NRBQ. But I think, do you like Skeeter Davis, Roger?
Honestly, other than the name, I'm not really familiar.
Yeah. Do you like Skeeters?
They're delicious. Yeah.
I don't know if you'd like this one, but this is probably going to be their big title for Record Store Day.
Yeah, it's probably on my list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a live album? It's
no. It's all his singles.
Yeah, I see.
Put out and extra stuff.
I mean, he's on so many other people's records. There's a certain class of musician that just everybody wants them to play with them, and they do, and he's one of those. I mean, Clapton was like that. Duane Allman was like that. Dr. John is definitely like that.
I'm going to give away the other two to people who I deem worthy of wanting them. But they're putting up this Little Richard record that somehow got a hold of like 70s Little Richard records that really, I don't think were really well distributed when they came out. So right now, I don't know when this one came out. 73. This is from 73.
And then, we're originally on. Not sure.
Good Time Records. But this is my friend's label, Omnivore. And then he says, so this is 10,000 Maniacs, obviously without Natalie Merchant.
Yeah.
But he says this is one of their best-selling records on CD. It sells well. the band tours a lot, and they always keep ordering the CDs because they sell them at their shows. So they expect this to do very well. It's a double live album. So
I didn't know they kept going after Natalie Merchant. Did they bring in another female singer, or what they do?
I assume
Yeah.
this girl who likes sunshine and touching her face.
Yeah, good.
So
The cover of that really reminds me of there's a famous poster, I think, from the Avalon, 69-ish, but it looks almost identical to that. The
poster.
Hey,
Yeah.
Paul, are you a fan of 10,000 Maniacs? Oh no, you're not. Look at his little emoji. You know, I've never met someone who the sight of something makes them vomit. Just
That's a little hypersensitivity, I think. I don't know.
and he gave me a bunch of CDs. Some of these are really good, but they're putting out this live Staples Center Stingers CD, and then the other one that was very interesting to me is this Maurice White solo album. He's the leader of Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Right.
So, yeah, they put this out. But they always like extra songs and stuff. So, all right, that's enough shilling for my friend's company.
Yeah. Maurice White wrote September, right? The lyrics. Bye, ya.
Well, I think like David Foster wrote with them a lot, and but he was the leader. And I think the last 20 years he was around. He didn't tour with them because he had Parkinson's. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
But he produced and wrote all their stuff. I guess he recorded. All right, let's show some records. So a friend of mine that we communicate with, and he goes, "Get this record. It's really good." And I trust his opinion because he doesn't suffer fools. So by chance, again, he showed me the record, and the next day I went out and I found it. This is a Ramsey Lewis Trio record. And I kind of feel like maybe some people judge Ramsey Lewis as being kind of middle of the road jazz. But I have two. His The In Crowd, which I think was his big break live record. That's really good. His Christmas record's good, by the way. I have that. And then I forget the name of it. It's the record literally with Earth, Wind, and Fire during his 70s funk one. That's really good. But this
Sun Goddess, is that Sun Goddess maybe?
Yeah, Sun Goddess. So this is interesting. This came out in 69 on Cadet. And it's a trio, very funky. He's playing electric piano, but his backing band is Maurice White on drums. I didn't know that was the connection. There's Maurice White right there. He played drums. And the other gentleman I know of, because I have one of his black jazz albums, is Cleveland Ayton, who I believe played with Count Basie and stuff. This is a really good album. If you go find it, it's called Another Voyage. It's a trio, but very funky, jazzy, really good record. I'm starting to sound like Mazzy, but this is really good. Highly recommend it. I think it's like $15 to $20 record now.
Interesting. Hey, he's been a blind spot for me, just for kind of the reason you said. It just for me was always a little commercial edge of jazz, but talented for sure.
Paul saying Charles Stepney, an International Anthem, has their stuff on Bandcamp, and they have sales often. Okay, I'll look into that. Thank you, Paul. All right, so this is good. All right, I've got a shitload of records. This goes into Dr. Robert. I've got this for myself.
Okay,
but
good.
This is a very hard to find record, and actually, it's pricey. It's over $50 for this record. This is later Chet Baker on Edinburgh with a trio of electric guitar and bass, and it's good. It's a live record, and it's pretty good. The sound is but it's good. So
what year did that come out?
This came out in 86.
I saw that movie Let's Get Lost when that came out. I think it must have been late 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he got punched. Somebody punched out all his teeth, so he couldn't play trumpet for a while.
Well, there's this record that came out for Record Store Day like 3 years ago. Something's Attic. It's still sealed. So I guess a producer friend was doing him a favor and giving him an album after he lost all his teeth and before they were fixed.
Right.
And the guy owns the rights to it, and occasionally every bunch of years or so he'll re-release it. It's horrible. It's like he can't get any sound.
Poor thing, poor guy.
Yes, his teeth are all gone, so he can't get any.
It was a drug deal gone bad, and I think is what they said in the movie. And then they also in the movie, I mean, he was a heroin addict to the core. He was never trying to get straight, really. He was just trying to.
He's a functioning whatever he was.
Yeah, get a supply. Yeah.
So here's another great guy. I don't know if you know who this is, Dr. Robert. Pat Martino, jazz guitarist.
I've heard he was in Mahogany Rush.
Right. Is that right?
No, that's Marino.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Marino.
But he died like I think during the pandemic or maybe a year ago. But all his Muse stuff I've been getting. This is a live record. It's really good. It's more rocky than his jazz stuff. It's just this is an outstanding record. I know a lot of people are desirable about this, but hold on. No, I haven't seen it live, but this is really good.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I don't know his stuff. I've seen his name.
I don't know any of these guys he's playing with, but it's really good. Very, very psyche, rocky, jazzy. It's not fusiony. It's good. All right. I'll save these for a second. I went to one of my record stores, and there's this Charles Mingus box that came out last year with all his Atlantic stuff. And I guess the store I went to decided to break it up and sell them individually. And I have most of those titles, but I guess included was this Outtakes record. So I didn't have it, and I picked this up. I guess this is in the box.
That was like one of 8 or 10 in the box or something?
I think there's 8 records in the box. But
this is one that's never been released, right?
It's Outtakes. The only way you can get it is in the box.
I ended up with one of those, a similar thing from an Ornette Coleman box. And I didn't even realize when I was buying it that it was out of a box. And when I got it home and sorted through it, and I ended up keeping it. I was tempted to take it back and say, look, this is not even, but part of the, it's part of a pack.
Well, they're tone poets. I went into a store who broke up the box like that.
Yeah.
The next week, they started selling that box for $100 and I bought it.
Right.
So
you waited and got the whole box.
Yeah, I mean, I was mainly interested. In the box is a Jackie McLean title that Ornette Coleman's on. I was mainly interested in that one, so I got the box. Hold on.
I think it's okay. Take a full or a broken box, whatever. Broken up box.
Yeah, I don't know what. Oh gosh, I don't know what. Uh-oh, Billy's got something to say. Catalyst. So Catalyst is a Philadelphia band, a jazz band, and their stuff on Muse. There's Muse titles that are very expensive. Actually, I'm selling one in my auction. So,
but it'll be very expensive, right?
No, the stuff in my. I mean, I don't. It's very rare that I'll start something very high.
But, no, but it will go. I'm just saying because it's such a.
Yeah, there's some Muse titles that go for in the hundreds, but not a lot. But some of the top Muse stuff is good. Here, I think there was this dude who came on the Jazz Bums, Brewery Town Records, and he is trying to put out Catalyst records, like reissue them. So I hope he does it. I got 2 of the titles he reissued. Those Liberation jazz records, and those were good. Okay, here's another a pricey record because it was only issued once when it came out on vinyl. This is Billy Higgins, called Mr. Billy Higgins. Outstanding. I think the record store guy told me that this record was hard to find for a long time, and then all of a sudden it was easier to find. It's still a $40 on up record, but it's on this kind of title. This guy, Dr. Riza Jardan, his own label. I think maybe they put out 10 records, but this is really good. It's Billy Higgins on drums, Tony Dumas on bass, William Henderson piano, and Gary Bias, who I think Gary Bias played with Earth, Wind & Fire, saxophone. And this is a good record. I like the cover. Some people don't, but this is really good.
Looks like it's fully sealed.
It's just in the shrink.
Oh, okay.
Here's the label on Dr. Riz's records. But if you see this, pick it up. It's I don't think it's overly expensive for around $40 to $50, but it's good. It's a good record. All right. Next one. If you don't know this and you like jazz trios, I think it's like 20 records that Hank Jones did under the Great Jazz Trio.
I have a couple that I love.
The main grouping was Ron Carter and Tony Williams. Yeah. In fact, this is an East West, which is a Japanese label, and their Japanese ones were often direct to disc mastering. So this was the main group. I think there's at least 7, maybe 8 of the records are with them. And then it breaks up, but it's always Hank Jones in them. And I have about 5 of these. I think in the US they were put out on Inner City. This is very good. This particular one. They do a lot of standards on there. Indonesia.
All of the ones I have are basically standards and pretty straight ahead, but just really nice, really well done. There's one that I have that's got it's like a baseball field, a baseball stadium.
I don't have that one. That one actually is a pricey one.
That's kind of one of my favorites.
Yeah, but most of them go, I think, $10 to $20 for them. This is good. All right. This probably out of this was the find. So if you're not into avant-garde or free jazz,
you don't have big ears.
Well, this is a Roscoe Mitchell album, Sound, that came out on Delmark.
Yeah.
This is a UK pressing from '66.
Oh.
And this is an expensive record, but for some reason I found it pretty affordable. The UK one's Deep Groove. The US one is not.
Interesting.
But
so that was another label that was pressed out of a record store. That was out of Jazz Mart in Chicago.
Yeah, it's a Chicago label.
It started out as Del Mar, and then they changed the name to Del Mark somewhere along the way. But
other one, I have here's some titles that I have. They did a lot of free jazz, like I have the Anthony Braxton alto sax.
Nice.
Which is just him playing a saxophone on 2 discs.
He's on this record?
No. This is mostly, all the guys on here are mostly art ensemble of Chicago guys. Like here is Lester Bowie. Maurice McIntyre is a guy Lastman likes. And Mikhail Favors. But I haven't cleaned and listened to this yet, so I just picked it up.
Looks like a nice record.
It's a very sought-after record if you're into free jazz. And speaking of the Art Ensemble of Chicago, I found this one on ECM. This is the U.S. pressing through Warner Brothers, and it's digital, which I make a point of saying is digital, right there with the sticker. But this is them going into their 3rd decade, which is 1984.
Wow.
And this is the lineup. It is Lester Bowie, Joseph German, and there was Roscoe Mitchell, Mikhail Favors, and Tom Mayo.
I have some of their stuff. I don't have either of those records.
I saw them a couple of years ago.
If I decide to sell what? The Roscoe Mitchell? Probably not. That's a hard one to find. Here's one that I'm probably selling. And I don't know. Do you know Keith Tippett, Roger?
No, not off the top of my head.
Keith Tippett. This is free jazz. It's drums and piano.
He married Julie Tippett, who was previously Julie. What was it? She was with the. Who's the guy? The organist, British organist. She's a British player. He is too, I think.
Reach out to me, Paul. Probably the Art Ensemble. But I'm also, this one's going, because for what I paid for it is insane compared to what it goes for.
Does Julie Tippett sing on it at all, or no?
No, this is just these two people.
Those two.
Yeah.
She's avant-garde as a singer.
I found a copy of this that I already have this.
Brian Auger,
So I once I bought this and listened to it, I got on a huge Walt Dickerson kick. So now I have like 6 of his albums. He's avant-garde. I picked up a record. Let's see if in my stack I want to show from Spain. It's Walt Dickerson and Sun Ra, and it's awesome. This is really good, and I have a copy that'll be in my auction. Not an easy record to find. This is his impressions. There's the movie A Patch of Blue, so his variation on the song. Yeah, Lastman knows. A lot of his. He's a guy who was recording for Prestige, I think, in the beginning. He took 10 years off and came back and did a bunch of records for Steeplechase. Plays the vibes. Great. Killer stuff. So Sun Ra is on piano on this. Yes, you're right, Billy.
Can I just close the loop on what I was babbling about? There's been some peanut gallery stuff. So there's Julie Driscoll, who played with Brian Auger, and then she married Keith Tippett, and she changed her name to Julie Tippett. And it's kind of the opposite of the way a lot of female performers, Tina Turner being an example, once they got their stage name from their husband, they didn't want to give it up. Julie Driscoll already had her name as her maiden name, and yet gave it up for Keith Tippett. And, so she's got kind of a dual career there.
Well, who is she?
She's a great vocalist. I mean, that's what she is. And I'd say she's an interpretive jazz vocalist, and not only jazz. I mean, she was doing kind of pop back in the 60s with Brian Auger. She did a great version of Donovan's song. Must be the what is it? Help me here. Not the Valley of the Beast.
Must be yeah, that song. I know that one.
At any rate, we can stop there. But she was a great pop singer and became a great jazz singer and very avant-garde, and married Keith Tippett. That's all I got.
How dare you, jazz bum, whoever you are. Okay. Here's the record I picked up. I ordered this from Spain. This record goes for quite a bit of dough, but somehow I found it.
Thank you.
So that's Walt Dickerson. Him and Sun Ra Visions. It's on Steeplechase. There's Sun Ra. But this record is awesome. Killer. And I'm not going to be the guy who says, like everyone, oh, they should really reissue this. But they should reissue it. But it's good.
Who's on it with him?
Him and Sun Ra.
Do
you listen to the words that come out of my mouth?
Well, he didn't say it was a duo. He just said they were on it. Is there anybody else on it?
Walt Dickerson and Sun Ra. He's playing piano, and he's playing the vibes.
Okay.
I don't know Walt Dickerson at all. I know Sun Ra, of course.
So,
who's on the Visions record you were showing?
Johnny Martin Sning and the Flachensteigen. My Jewishy dad, his favorite name, when you ask that, he go Feldman. That was like his favorite thing to say. But this killer, like upper tier, like if I was to do a Mark Glassman, where you whittle down your collection to 500 records, this would be one of them. Okay. All right, next one. And so I found a bunch of Derek Bailey records, who's a British avant-garde free jazz guitar player. And I'm kind of finding them a new home. But this one interests me because it's him and Dave Holland. Just these two guys. Bass and whatever version of guitar he plays. Because I've heard stories where people said he didn't even know how to play guitar. But this is very good. This is kind of ambient, avant-garde. I wouldn't say it's free jazzy. And I have some solo Dave Holland records, and he's very enjoyable to listen to play. But this is on an OG German ECM record. This is very good.
Beautiful. What year is that?
I think 70. I think it's early 70s.
And who plays with them on that, Waxed?
Feldman.
Thank you, Dr. Robert.
Feldman.
Trying to help.
Okay, so I'll segue over to this. So I had heard Notes and Tones speak about this the first time, and then Mike from the In-Groove, I heard him talk about these. So Horace Tapscott was an LA-based avant-garde pianist, and he never really got much notoriety. I think the one thing he did is he kind of arranged that Sonny Chris record that everyone wants, Sonny's Dream, but he recorded himself playing. So these are a series of 7 records. I think there's more on CD of him just doing solo recorded improvised piano. Okay, so I almost like owning a record because of the story behind them. So he recorded all these things, I think, over the period of 2 years, maybe 82, 83. And this guy started this label, Nimbus West. I forget that guy's name. And he made a handshake deal with Horace Tapscott to put out his stuff. Cut to, I talked to the guy from Record Safari about this. So here's the story he told me. Cut to eight or so years ago, this guy, I don't know if he was a record hunter or whatever, discovered that the Nimbus guy had a warehouse in New Mexico full of dead stock records of the Nimbus titles. Like, he wasn't able to sell them, I guess, and bought the whole warehouse of records and then inundated the market with these. And then the Call, I think, is the main Horace Tapscott record where he's like conducting. It's a drawing of him. The Alex from the Safari told me that before this, 8 years ago, that was a $200 record. Like, if you found a copy of it, this dude flooded the market and dropped that record down to $40. And you couldn't go anywhere, at least on the West Coast, and not find these records. I think they were selling for like $10 or maybe less. Wow. So now it seems as though the dead stock's kind of drying up. This one store going underground in Bakersfield has a bunch. I was able to get 4 of the titles. And then I went on Discogs and the guy had the remainder of the 3. So for way under $200, I was able to get all 7. And I've already listened to a little bit of this one, and it's great. I mean, if you like avant-garde,
the Nathan Davis Segway record, it's not both of them, but that first one, somebody has like a stock of those, and he just puts one on eBay.
Right. So I heard the story too. So here's the story I heard about that. And I have it right over here. I bought a sealed copy on eBay. Just so happens the hole is a little off center, but it plays fine.
Okay.
But so supposedly, I think maybe within the last 5 years, the recording studio that was part of Segway went out of business. Someone bought it or whatever. And they had like not a garage sale, but like a garage sale. And this dude went in there and bought a box of Segway records. So I'm assuming he got that like a bunch of sealed copies that he's selling off. And that
Yeah.
record goes from anywhere from 150 on up. I got it from the guy for $80 like a year and a half ago. So he sometimes check eBay, the guy sells them, but
Yep.
the whole is slightly off center.
I actually want that other Segway one. It's like the 6 chamber or something.
Well, that's a $500 or more record anyway.
That's because that's a small group.
But here's the deal. There's another Segway record, I believe, that P-Vine is putting out in June, right? I have it on pre-order on Dusty Groove. Yeah, you didn't know this?
If yeah. I have it pre-ordered. Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess that 11th, whatever it's called, that'll be put out too, because it probably is like Nathan Davis's family is working with them or something.
That's it. Yeah.
But here's Dr. Robert and Roger. Here's an interesting fact about Nathan Davis. You know who he went to college with? I think he went to college with basketball player for the Celtics. Famous
Larry Bird?
No. Come on, Nathan Davis, dude. This is in the 60s.
And then, Bill Bradley? No.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell, yeah.
Wait, I'm thinking it's Bill. Where did Bill Russell go to college? I might be wrong on Bill Russell.
I don't know.
It was a famous Kentucky basketball player that not the Lakers guy. I don't know. Nathan Davis went to college, and they're friends with a famous basketball player. It wasn't Duke. It was at Kentucky. So I'm trying to remember. 60s Kentucky player. There you go. I messed up the whole stupid story, so don't listen to me.
No, it's all right. I don't know. Bill Russell was wasn't he a senator or something?
Hold on, Dr. Charlie, you are muted. I can see you're trying to chat.
God damn it! I kept telling dumb jokes, and I was wondering why.
Sorry. Are you? Wait, hold on. Is Dr. Charlie? Are you an MD?
Yes.
It's Roger. His name is Roger. Mike.
Roger? Okay.
Yeah,
Roger, I've never met. I wanted to say hi to Roger.
Yeah, I tried to hook you up with him, Mike, to get you that hoodie that you wanted.
Yeah, I would have gotten that hoodie. I didn't know what hoodie you wanted. Here, let me see if I can change my name to something more useful. I bet I can.
Nathan Davis went to college with a famous basketball player.
Pat Riley.
No, I'm talking about the general manager guy he's the, for years he was the logo. They called him. I'm old and forget names. He's no good. All right, here's that. This is going to be in the auction because I have this. This is a solo Dave Holland on ECM. This is a freaking awesome record. If you ever see this, pick it up. But I'll have one in my auction.
When do you buy a record that you already have a copy of that your thought is, okay, I think I'm going to sell this?
No, my thought is I like this album a lot and other people will too. So I'll put it in my auction.
It's an adoption thing. But when do you pull the trigger? Because if it's too high priced or if it's not in good shape
I had a discussion with Jazz Bomb Mike. Someone's coming up that'll ruin everything we're trying to do tonight. And there he is. Hold on.
Wow.
The place I was going to have dinner is closed on Wednesdays. Omar's, the oldest bar and restaurant in Ashland, and they close Wednesdays. What the fuck?
They found out you were coming, and everybody hid.
I love that place.
Is anyone active on like TikTok or? There's always videos of people living in their cars. I'm afraid that Mazzy got kicked out of his house.
Yeah. I'm driving to San Francisco, as you know. So
it's a lot.
Okay. Hold on. Paul comes to the rescue. Nathan Davis went to Kansas with Will Chamberlain. They were good friends.
Oh, Will Chamberlain, a San Francisco guy.
You couldn't remember Will Chamberlain?
Him and Will Chamberlain, I guess.
Wilt the Still.
One of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
My ex-wife went out grocery shopping at
and never came back.
No, she went 1 a.m. 1 a.m. somewhere in San Diego, and Will was there, and he was walking through the. She didn't know who he was, but he was walking through the grocery store with two women, one on either arm. That's what her report was, and everybody was like oohing and awing, and she didn't bother to get his autograph. I don't know, but yeah.
Hey, Mazzy, send you a read it. She says, "I think the Too Many Records guy bought that restaurant."
That is funny. It's not. I'm not in Portland. I'm in Ashland, which is basically the Shakespeare Festival here. But yeah, it's raining here. It wasn't raining in Seattle, but it's. So and the other place I'm going to opens at 5, so I'm slumming here for 20 minutes.
So if people don't know, Nicole made her first appearance on the Jazz Bums on Friday. She did well on, I think.
Oh, did you grade her? Is that your grading her? Or is that it?
I didn't want to say Wilt Chamberlain because I knew he played where Mazzy went to school, but I guess maybe he transferred or something. I don't know.
Wasn't Wilt in San Francisco for a while? Seriously?
Yeah, no? College. I thought he played at the University of San Francisco.
Because my friends, my late friend Danny Walker's father, the one that was the attorney for Jim Marshall, George Walker played basketball for USF around that time. But became a lawyer instead. Have you ever heard of George Walker, Mike? Notes and Tomes, Mike? He died a couple years ago. He was my great criminal attorney in San Francisco. He worked on the Hells Angel Altamont case.
Well, maybe Delphina, you could be the president of her fan club. I hear there's lots of people that might want to join.
Yeah. Yeah, Novoselic. So Wilt played for Philadelphia 76ers for a number of years. And
hold on, John Chamberlain has more information for us. He played a few years for the Warriors.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah, exactly.
He played ball at Kansas. Bill Russell played at San Francisco. See, I'm mixing them two up.
That's one. What's the guy? What's the short white guy who played there? Barry.
Yeah, Rick Barry.
Rick Barry.
Who did the under.
Yeah.
But Will banged a lot more ladies than Bill did.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was his whole thing. All right, I'm going to go back to showing records, and I've got too many. So this is an outstanding record. Solo, bass, really good. Highly recommend this. I'm almost certain. Was it in his biography? I picked up a bunch of
was Barry 6'7"? Okay, that's all right. I did see that.
His son, 3 of his sons played in the NBA too.
Okay,
that's not that.
I have found a copy of this. This will be in the auction.
I have that.
Yeah, this is an '80s pressing. On the when Mazzy will say, "When I worked there."
I didn't work there in the '80s.
Was there no hole punch?
That's what I was thinking.
It's a stamp. It's a stamp on the back, right?
Okay, never mind.
There you go.
Oh,
no, Mike, that's what it looks like to me as
right?
well.
Yeah, like
this is one of those fancy holeless records. Can you imagine me buying records and go, I can sell this, and doesn't have a hole in it?
Well, did you just play the compact disc player?
You should be seen and not heard. I found an '80s copy of this too. So
he owns Smalls, Billy. I didn't know he owned Smalls. Interesting. I know Smalls.
This is one of those holeless records.
Is that his quartet? The standard quartet with
Yeah. This is McCoy, Garrison, Art Davis is on one song.
Okay. Cool.
Are Sun Ra and Walt Dickerson on that?
Yes, and Feldman too.
So, did you get your medical license last week, Roger?
Yeah. Well, actually, Brooks brought it to me. When he came to Knoxville, he brought me.
Okay.
This will be in the auction because I have the twofer with it.
Ooh, this looks nice.
This was a shelved Sam Rivers record that originally only came out on vinyl in that twofer, and then in '86 they put it out as a DMM title. Oh. But I listened to this already. This sounds excellent, and the cover's really cool.
I think you want to use the pronunciation shelved. with a V, not shelved.
Shelved.
Shelved. Like
And then,
like shellfish.
Trying to
I think
help.
this is
Trying to help.
lower regarded. This is a UK pressing of this, UK Impulse. But I think this is a good record. This Sam Rivers record. So
Did that? I don't think that came out on. I don't think that came out on Impulse in the States though.
it did. The copy I have.
It's
is-
Impulse. Oh, all right.
He did a bunch of records for Impulse, bunch of live ones too.
Okay.
This record, I really highly suggest people go out and get it. It's not an expensive record. This is a John Lewis teams up with this guy.
Yeah.
I think his
Yeah.
son plays, and he liked. He's in that free jazz group on Facebook, Mike.
Oh, right. Well, he's on.
Unless
He's
this
on-
is a common name in Germany.
Does he play trombone? What does he play?
He played this guy. It's trombone.
Yeah. He's on. I have like an FMP with him on it. He's like one of the German like free like FMP guys.
So that's good. If you're a fan of John Lewis, obviously with the Modern Jazz Quartet, which was kind of avant-garde-ish, his stuff he did outside of it, this is
Did you say
avant-garde.
John Lewis was avant-garde?
MJQ is not avant-garde.
Yeah, they mix classical music with jazz. It's
That's
different.
not avant-garde.
Yeah,
Well, in
That
that
time period,
in that definition,
for that time
Okay.
period,
that's like,
it was.
but in terms of musical, okay.
Let me finish. For him and Chico Hamilton were doing unusual stuff that no one else was doing. That is avant-garde.
then you're
And
talking
MJ
about Sketches of Spain as avant-garde, which is
MJ
not.
That's not. That Sketches of Spain, if anything, it's like scored music for a film
Yeah, well,
that
that's
doesn't
what
exist.
MJQ was more like that in that.
Anyway, what you're saying is that MJQ is pushing the boundaries of something.
That's
That's what
we're
avant-garde
saying.
is, right?
Yeah.
Unless
He-
you're unless
The
you go
literal
off
definition.
and do free jazz, you're
It's
just
about
And also,
avant-garde. Then you're
M-
going to say
MJ
the Eagles are avant-garde.
man.
MJ
No.
Listen, guys. If you were next to me in a record store, I would be rude to you.
Of course you would.
You would be punching.
Hold on. MJQ did do that Atlantic record with Jimmy Jufrey, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's modernist
Well,
more
okay,
than
what
avant-garde.
was Jimmy Jufrey, Mazzy?
Modernist.
Free.
I'm actually going to
Avant-garde.
I'm going to take Wax's side in this. The phrase avant-garde actually just means out in front,
Yes.
and so
So-
it's a generic term, but it sometimes gets incorporated
Okay, so
into a specific.
I have another John
Awesome.
Lewis record that he arranged and stuff that is mixing classical with jazz. It's very different.
Then
Yeah, but
MJQ are the cheapest avant-garde jazz records. Then you
They are
can get
cheap.
because
Actually,
No, they're because they're outstanding. Go get their records. But
I
this
have
record-
them. I have
oh,
many of
let's
their
go back to
records.
this record. So he's playing with this German jazz band, and it's trombone forward jazz, and it's really good.
So
I highly recommend getting
bef-
this.
before we leave, I do want to say, Wax, you realize I was taking your side and supporting you, and you interrupted me. Just
But
I
I
mean-
interrupt everyone. It's a sign
Oh,
of
I'm
affection.
just saying.
Yeah, I noticed a big change yesterday when Dr. Robert did a video like against It's the Music Stupid. Now he's like, oh, Mazzy got me on here. Now I don't have to pay attention to him anymore. Now I
Oh.
can negate everything he says from now on.
Oh,
Yada, you know,
Look,
it's okay.
listen, Louis. Thanks for taking my side. I apologize,
He was
Dr.
the-
Robert Turner. Hold on.
I think
I
he's
apologize,
the
Dr.
point guard.
Robert. I
No, you don't
apologize, Dr.
Please, no apology. I'm saying, I was helping, and
But it's very nice that you're slowly becoming butthurt.
you're an egalitarian interrupter.
Dr. Robert, you were helping, but just don't expect any reciprocity there. Just let it go.
I'm just pointing it out.
All right, what do
All
we got?
You know what? Join the club of people's feelings I've hurt.
It'll take more than that.
Very, So I don't think Milt Jackson people respect
Oh
it.
man.
But
This is
Well,
this is
that's
good.
because he was in Milt Jackson's a member of MJQ. He's
And-
not avant-garde.
No, but
That's one of my
this,
favorite avant-garde groups.
this is good, and he's got a lot of good people like MGQ people. John Lewis is on
Oh,
here.
Not
Billy's
MGQ,
Billy,
MJQ.
hold on. Billy's requesting a link. He's going to set us straight with all this.
Oh,
The
okay.
Milt Jackson
Yeah,
Quartet. right?
but you young guys, I don't think you really, you've been into jazz, what, 3 years? Come on. You're not even 4 years to get your degree yet.
Yeah,
You get an AA, not even
hey,
a
listen, Mazzy, you're in the middle of nowhere. Open up the window and yell at a cloud.
Mazzy, give us a soliloquy
Can I just tell them?
since you're a national.
Some of the greatest minds that went to Harvard didn't graduate.
Yeah, some of the greatest minds everywhere didn't graduate.
Yeah,
This
I
is
know.
I picked this up today. I've always
good.
wanted this, but I found a there are two. For some reason, this came out in '69, but there are two 70s. This was only pressed twice in the '70s, and for some reason, neither are for sale on Discogs.
That's more avant-garde than an MJQ record is avant-garde.
No, this is. You know what it is?
It's not,
sort of. There should.
I
there
love
should
that
be-
record.
Is there a genre of jazz which it's what do you like the
Like
what do you-
country rock?
no what he was big in, it's during the 60s and
Eastern.
no, he does Eastern.
spiritual.
I'm talking about subject matter during
Oboe.
when African Americans get the right to vote during the whole
Equal right?
equal
Civil
rights. So this is subject wise more.
A Holocaust? What are you thinking of? Jeez.
Hey, could you somehow let the gas fill? Never mind.
Ooh. Too soon? You're gonna get a Murray Stark video about that one.
Well, he's banned from this channel. I don't even know if he has
No,
access.
they all watch. They have people that watch all
That-
our
that-
videos.
this is very good.
I love his stuff.
Yeah, that is a good record. I agree with you.
Honest, I like that record too.
I'm agreeing with you, Rob. Don't
All
cut
right,
me
here's a
off.
record.
I don't like that record.
No.
Here's a record from. Wait, what are you showing now?
Well, I think I'm being summoned away from the live stream. So I did.
Yeah.
I brought a couple of records by Ray Charles, and I won't spend much time. There are a few records he had before he was on Atlantic. This is one that's on Hollywood Records. These are kind of hard to find. And here's another one that was on also Hollywood Records. These two are.
So do you put them alphabetically under Brother Ray?
Well, I got those from Amanda's friend down in San Francisco, and
I know. Yeah, she's in Seattle now, but I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Copel Design.
Coppola Design. I had an alphabetical thing already, but I got dividers with performers that I have a lot of a lot of content, and Brother Ray is one, and as I was saying in that last video, this is a record that I'm happy to have more than one copy. That's an original stereo on Atlantic. There's a UK mono pressing.
Does that have a flip back jacket?
No, these were all standard jackets. This one I found out.
Even the UK, even the UK one?
Let me pull it out. Yeah, the UK definitely. It's definitely not.
Okay.
Flip back. Oh, you mean flip back, not gate.
Not tip on.
Yeah, yeah, it is a flip back. It's a flip back.
Yeah, can you show that? Can you show that? I am like obsessed with the whole UK European flip back jackets. I feel like it's I don't know. I just love that.
Yeah,
I like them too.
Were they originally brown like that?
No, they faded. A lot of them faded from the glue, or probably, or just the white. Yeah,
it's cellophane. Cellophane when it's yellowed. But I'll only show a couple more because you were showing some Milt Jackson. He actually made a couple of records with Milt Jackson back before he really became.
That's a good record.
So for some weird reason, that record there, Dr. Robert, about 2 years ago, was reissued twice.
Really?
Once was a Kevin Gray pressing, and once was a Bernie Grumman pressing.
Didn't Chad reissue that? I think.
No. They
No?
were two separate reissues.
Oh, I thought Chad did it. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love that mono label.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the White Fan Atlantic. This is the first pressing for this. It was this mono 1961. The other one is on the full on black label Atlantic, also mono. But it's some fun records. He just, for me, he's just one of my favorites. I've got a whole stack here, but
Do you list them next to the Leuven brothers too?
got some Leuven
We got
brothers.
Billy.
They're not next to Ray Charles on my record shelves.
Why don't you do all your brothers together? Leuven
Hey.
brothers and Righteous brothers and brother Ray and all that.
Because
How many
that's
times have we
Ray.
been watching our Billy?
So are you going to school us and set us straight?
Oh,
Billy?
no. I was just coming up to say hi. And it's not avant-garde. They're not
Oh, hold on 1 second, okay? Just understand, I'm just old and feeble-minded and lose my memory, Scotty. But I grew up in Washington D.C. and was bused to school. I learned all that stuff. We celebrated Martin Luther King when I was in elementary school. So I'm just old and can't remember things. That's my problem.
Have you ever heard of the Underground Railroad? Come on, Rob. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I'd like to put you underneath the
Do
railroad.
you think that's the band with Lou Reed? Jesus.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Mazzy. Could you go back to driving your car with your eyes closed, please?
Wait, hold on. I just want to acknowledge Billy's name here. Very nice.
I think I had that up from a past stream where they were trying to say, I think it was, what's his name? He's always on Rachel's show with the voice and the mic, older guy. He does a Sunday stream.
Borden.
Yeah. Borden was saying that, like,
The
On
older
jazz-
guy.
Yeah, now make fun of Billy for not remembering George
I
Borden.
think he's like 10 years younger than me, Billy. So,
Is George Gordon the guy who played with the Celtics?
yes,
Yeah,
Are you going to say that when
he
we
was
hang out?
McNeil's backup.
Are you going to call me the older guy when we hang out in?
No.
Austin?
You're a young. You have a young spirit.
No, I'm old man Mazzy. That's okay. I can handle it.
No, but he was saying that, like, he was commenting that we had shown a bunch of records on Jazz Bums that were like, we were just trying to show things that were like obscure and shit like that. And he was like, yeah, they don't ever show things like Kind of Blue because it's like, it's not, they don't consider it. And I was like, come on, man. And then I changed my name to Kind of Blue is the greatest jazz record of all time.
Actually, George and I are exactly the same age.
Older gentlemen. Older gentlemen.
Older
We're all
Yeah,
older
but
gentlemen.
come on. I thought my juvenile, the way I act, kind of makes me seem younger.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So Mazzy actually gave me an OG of this.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and I'm not a big Cal Jader guy.
I'm a
That's
huge
what
This
record
is, a,
was.
this is an outstanding record. I think this is an 80s reissue.
I love
This will be in the auction. This
Wait,
is a
it-
kick-ass record.
There's two cool things about that record.
What?
One, the lineup, which is insane. If you like zoom in and look at who's actually on that record, it's crazy. If you shake it, it's easier to see. No, but like below, it's like Kenny Burrell. Who else is on there? Like Donald Bird's on there, I think. Richard
yeah.
Davis, Jimmy Heath.
Jimmy Heath. Great.
Yeah,
intro.
Also, is there an ad for Tabasco?
Tabasco on the cover.
Yeah, because the first issue had Tabasco on it, and then they had to change it all issues further to say Cal Jader Soul Sauce. But you have a first press if it says Tabasco on it, and then for the second press, they forced them to have like an ad for Tabasco sauce on the back.
That's nuts.
No, this is an 80s reissue.
Yeah, I mean that's not 80s; it's all over by then. But
And the one I have says soul sauce on it, but no,
Yeah.
I don't think it has an ad for Tabasco on it.
yeah,
This will be in the auction. Kick-ass record.
I'm
All right.
upset.
Great record.
Wax, I'm
All
gonna
right,
have
now,
to
Billy. Oh, sorry,
I'm-
Dr. Robert.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
I'm sorry, man. I'm going to have to say goodbye, but fun to see everybody. Fun to meet some new friends.
Meet you, Dr. Robert.
Yeah.
You know,
Take care.
Thanks for your interruption.
Yeah. Anytime, buddy.
I got to go too. I'm having dinner here, so I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go out, eat some avant-garde Italian food. See you later.
Cutting edge.
If you eat it in front of the restaurant, like if they've got
Are you going to get it out of the dumpster, Mazzy? Hey, Billy, how often do you come across this?
I've only seen that like once or twice through the years. It's not that expensive, but it's not that common, right?
It's not common at all. and it's, I mean, it goes for okay
30?
money.
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't. I haven't
enough.
seen.
This will be in the auction.
That's
All right,
like
'cause I have
that's like rock, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird because it's also like a little bit of sunshine. It's like, yeah, it's not for me. But I have the mono reissue that Sundays did. Okay, I do this. This will be in the auction. This is an '80s reissue of this. Killer record.
Rob, there's one of those, the original on Etsy right now. Like the second press, which is like, the first one's purple, and then from On Coltrane's label, the like hand printed one.
Well, so they did so I went into the Record Safari once, and they did have a reissue with that cover on it.
Yeah, there's a second press, I think, and then there is a reissue, but someone on Etsy has like a really early one right now, and I've like messaged them 100 times.
Hey, dude, you know what you're doing?
I'm telling
You're telling people to go take.
Well, no, he has. It's too expensive, but I'm trying to get
card privileges. He has card privileges.
I do have card privileges.
Just so you know,
carte blanche.
just so you know, I bought a record that Kenny Barron, and I showed it, and Billy goes, "That was in my cart." You got to buy them.
Carte blanche. That was a good joke.
Yeah, this is awesome. I got an what's this cover? Is it a third pressing or a second pressing?
I mean, it's the first impulse. Oh,
no, the MCA stamp. It's the first on MCA. So it's
the one when they put it out with this cover.
Oh, that's the first
impulse.
Yeah.
I have through Mazzy. I got a first impulse of this. This is an '80s reissue. So
yeah, I don't know if I have a 72 or a first, but I have that.
Okay, now we're getting into.
Wait, what year did that come out, Rob?
When did it come out? It came out after. It come out right
after he died.
I don't think it was a posthumous release. I think they released it to kind of appease.
No, I think. Okay.
That's the legacy one where.
Because that was pressed on his label, like his.
Right. I think it was the only one on his label when he was still alive, with the original cover. Okay. Then they reissued it on Impulse after he died, but that album came out when he was alive.
Have you guys ever heard about on the Rainbow MCAs? That's when Kevin Gray started working there, and like some of those records are like uncredited Kevin Gray masters. Have you heard anything about that, or so, like when you first started?
No, sorry, I was just disagreeing with Mark.
No, I've heard a little bit of that.
Yeah, like the ones that have that, in the Dead Wax where it's like square with a line and a circle and then another line. It's like it's like almost looks like a, I don't know, but like that symbol, I forget what plant that is, like Piccaninnyville or something. But I feel like some of those are, use like uncredited Kevin Gray, like when you first started with them. I don't know. Could be bullshit, but they sound good. They sound better than like people say, or like the London Jazz Collector would say that it's not good or whatever, but I think those 70s impulses sound good.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. I've had the Neon Sign impulse. I've had the Green Bullseye impulse.
Yeah.
If they came out originally on those, but if they didn't, if they came out in the '60s, and they probably used the same plates to reissue that.
I will say I have play tested the Sun Ra impulse, and all of the ones I've listened to sound not so great. It's probably just a source issue, but
yeah, because they didn't record those.
No. Yeah, those are older ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I disagree with London Jazz Collector on a lot of his generalizations about labels. I'm sure that there are pressings on those labels that don't sound good. I'm certain there are, but I feel like it's hard to say like an entire 5 years of a label is not a good sounding.
Yeah, and it's strange because like the late 70s was like, or the mid to late 70s, like late 70s was the height of like analog mastering, like studio techniques, equipment stuff. So like, like saying that doesn't sound good, but then saying that like the Steely Dan record, which is on the same exact label, or like the Palm Tree labels or whatever, like all those records sound amazing, It's the same era, same equipment, same studios.
Yep, agreed. I do like London Jazz Collector though. I don't.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
don't mean
amazing.
to,
It's so
but
amazing. What a resource.
Yeah. And I like his reviews. I feel like he put some records on my radar that I don't
Agreed.
know too much about.
So
Howdy. Hey guys.
I have to tell a funny story, eBay story. So I was like impulsively ordering on eBay, and I received this today in the mail. And let me just tell you, I paid $165 for this. And if it looks to you guys, you might know that this looks really suspiciously new.
It's the reissue.
Yeah, it's the reissue. So the guy labeled it, I don't know. He labeled it under the catalog issue number of the original and sold it. And I just like quickly assumed that like if it's that expensive, it's got to be the one. And if it's I didn't zoom in too hard. And even if you zoom in, you'd have to look at the CR number at the top. I mean, it's such a stupid rookie move, but like, so now I have this $160 version, and he's like giving me so much shit. He's like, it's still collectible. It's still limited edition. And I'm like, you can get it on Amazon for $29. I can have it delivered to my house in 20 minutes. And then he sent me an $80 refund. So that still puts it at like $90 with everything.
Well, I'm selling my OG copy of it because
this is not a note, Rob. You missed the beginning. I ordered off eBay. I ordered this record like 3 weeks ago, and I asked about the condition. And he's like, "It's okay. It's a little bit." You didn't say it was like new or whatever. And I got the Craft for $170.
Oh wait, he sent you the brand new Craft.
He sent me the reissue, even though the listing in the title had the Muse catalog number, not the CR number. So I just assumed that he had it priced at like $190, and I offered him a deal to make it like $160 or whatever. And so now he's like trying to tell me that it's still limited edition, and he's not going to like.
Can't you? How you pay with PayPal, right?
No, I am. I've already issued all of that, but I still feel really stupid. And I'm wondering, how many people get kind of scammed this way with reissues.
Probably people get scammed probably most of the time.
Yeah.
But that's why I think even PayPal has made it easier for people to challenge it.
Yeah, I mean, even eBay is usually pretty good if you like have evidence that it's like false or whatever, and they'll take care of it.
I mean,
You're supposed to figure it out with the person first, and if not, then then they'll do it.
I mean, that's when I think you're like this. That's when I really study the pictures.
Yeah, no, I do. I usually do it, but I like and bid on so much shit that I just I slipped and I fucked up. But yeah,
you're human.
I'm a human.
But I am not human. Hey, I'm going to go back to showing records I have.
Yeah, I had to kill time because
I'm going to let someone join. Hey, Joe, how are you?
Good, guys. How are you?
What's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
All right, I'm going. So I have a shitload of.
Why am I big?
No, I have a shitload of Pablos that I'm going to be auctioning, but I'm out of spite, and I hope people can appreciate this. I know Roger can. I'm accumulating all the Pablo titles that Chad's reissuing, which I had a lot of them, but somehow in the last week I found a ton. They're not hard to find, but this one I have, and there are Pablos that go for some dough. They're not a lot of them, but there are. This kind of goes for more than the average Pablo. This is the Ellington Suites.
Yeah.
So the
story, and this may not be there might be a little, but essentially, Ellington went to meet Queen Elizabeth, and he wrote her the Queen Suite and performed it, and apparently recorded it, pressed one copy, and gave it to her. And this is the first time it was recorded and put out. So that kind of makes this one
76.
That's interesting.
Have a little bit of history.
Yeah, the second side was stuff recorded in 71.
Yeah.
But this is outstanding. I think, obviously with a lot of these Pablos, it got on my radar when Chad did a video last year about the great sounding Pablos, and this is one of them. So I have this already. This will be in an auction, but this is killer. It's really good.
Yeah.
So
That's definitely a must-have in my opinion.
yeah, it's a must-have. It's not one of the ones he's reissuing. So here's one he's not reissuing. But you know what? I wasn't a big Ella fan. By picking up a bunch of these Pablos, now these Pablos are great. Listen, dude, you told me there's Spite in your collection. Here's one I didn't know about. This is a jams with all. Look at this lineup of people.
Sims, nice. Clark Terry.
Yeah. So this will be in there. I think this was one of the records that Chad said sounded really great. This is just Ella and Oscar and I think Ray Brown's on one song on this one.
Cool.
Here's Ella, I guess, does Cole Porter. And there's a ton of people on here. She does Nelson Riddle Band. This is with Nelson Riddle from 78. But here's, okay, so I picked up 2 of the Chad Ella titles. I'm blown away. It's just Ella and Joe Pass on guitar. Insane how good this is. The only thing I can compare it to is those Julie London records where it's her and just a guitar.
I thought that was James Brown.
This is actually your wig you're wearing right now. She had it first. Did you pick up the Ella wig? And then here's the other one that Chad's reissuing. This is probably recorded at the same time.
The photos were taken 30 seconds apart.
Listen, someone should go back and slap Norman Granz in the face and say, dude, come on. You know what? All the covers of Pablo's remind me of meeting my grandparents at a hotel. Like this when I was a kid. Hey, Grandpa. And this was like his reaction.
Yeah, but like, you know, when Norman Granz started, the Norgranz label, that's how the covers looked. They looked, I mean, they're slightly different, but for the most part, they were just a black and white photo of the artist with like a scripted name, and that's it.
Yeah, but it's like Norman Granz goes, hey, Count Basie's angry. Take a picture of him and Milt Jackson looking like, what the fuck?
Well, who did the photography? I'm sorry. Did you say who?
No, it had to be, I don't know, but Norman
It's not Norman Granz. Who did, they don't attribute it?
It's on there.
You know who did the photography? An old Jewish lady with lipstick all over her face going,
say cheese! Say cheese!
Hold on. I have to rewind the film. Okay. Someone explain this to me. I found 2 copies of this record. I've had it once before. For some reason, this is one of the Pablos that goes for some money.
I love that record.
Why do you love it? Because it's like it's a disco
I love jazz funk, and that's like there's like some killer jazz funk tunes on that. There's a 12-inch of the what Jaws is on there, and then there's like 3 banger tracks. And the first time I ever heard it was on the 6-inch. I even hate saying his name, but 6-inch John's channel. The guy, yeah. But he played it, and I was obsessed. I've been obsessed with that record. I love Lalo's stuff.
Actually, Mark Glassman's right. I just looked up the credit for the photography. It's Bubby, just Bubby. Bubby took all the photos for Pablo.
It's somebody's Bubby, yeah.
Yeah, Bubby's Yiddish for grandma. So, I have 2 copies of this. I'll re-listen to it again tonight, Billy. But
you got to be in a jazz funk mood, man.
It's Dizzy Gillespie's disco record.
Yeah, it's more Lalo's record with Dizzy as a piece.
Was this record sampled by hip hop people?
I don't know. I don't know.
Idea.
There'll be at least 1 copy in the auction. So.
You know Lalo's record on CTI that's like kind of jazz funky, and
he did 2 with like very disgusting covers, right?
Well, there's one that has like the Twin Towers on it, and then the other is like the disgusting one I think you're referring to.
Black Widow title.
Yeah, there's some really deep like bangers on that one too.
Okay, so I found another one of the Chad reissues, an OG of the Sarah Vaughan.
Cool. Never heard.
And then I had this already, but I found this will be in the auction. This is one of the ones he's reissuing.
Wait,
I have
can I ask a question? What's the one that you guys always talk about? The one that you heard at the show?
Oh,
the best
you and me, red cover, awesome.
That just came
Wait.
that just came up on eBay, sealed for $100.
Okay. So did Basie make like 3 Pablo records around the same time where he's wearing the same dickie?
Dude, he made like 20 Pablo
They
records.
probably
No, but-
reused the same shoot.
No, but I'm saying
mean,
like I get confused because that's the same. Like
Yeah,
they
Yeah, but
all.
that's also true. If you look at like Hank Mobley's covers, like he's wearing that same barred shirt in like all of them.
Oh, hold on. Here's one. Hey,
Can you put them together, Rob?
hey. No, here's the woman taking the picture. Hey, Basie, can you at least look in the camera? Like,
There's another one, right,
Okay.
where it's like Kansas City, like.
Here's the thing,
uh,
though. There are cool
It's
Pablo
cool.
covers. Like, I think there's some cool ones.
I'll pull out the coolest Pablo record. It's in a stack over here.
Okay.
I haven't shown it before. This is one people say is one of the best Pablo, but I still have some more to show. Okay.
Great.
All right. Then I found. I bet the
Michael.
only one I think I don't have from Chad's reissue is the Artatum. But not hard to
I have
find.
an
off.
Artatum. I could send you my copy if you want.
It's the Artatum with Ben Webster. That's the one.
I
I'm
have
looking
I have that, but that was originally put out
Oh, I
by
love that
Verve, and I recently got the Verve copy. So if you want my Pablo, I'll send it
Well,
to you.
what is the essential Artatum on Verve? Is that the same thing? It's not.
Well, and I'll get it.
Okay. So I have that one. Okay.
Have-
Then I found.
That record has Lionel Hampton on it, right? Have
Yeah,
I ever
her-
I
yeah.
ever told you my Lionel Hampton story?
No.
I met him in it was probably about 1985, 86, something like that. It was
Mhm.
right after one of his shows. And when I met him, he reached up and scratched his head and his toupee fell off.
Really?
And that's my Lionel Hampton story.
But I have a feeling that kind of stories happened to you more than once, though.
Not with Lionel Hampton. That's the only time.
No, but guys, my parents gave me a sealed Lionel Hampton record, and they go, "Ooh, we got it when we saw him up in the Catskills."
The Borscht Belt.
The board, it was probably more in the '70s stuff.
That'd be
So-
that'd be a Lionel
so-
Hampton.
Okay.
So that Pablo is a repress of this, and I looked for the Pablo. I think I may have put it downstairs in storage, but if you want it, I'll send it to you.
Okay, that would be nice.
So good.
But the Spite will only work if I have the Pablo version, because I'm going to do a video where I show all the
Okay.
Chad reissues.
It's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay, so here I found a bunch of Zoot Sims Pablos, and
Shelly
I like Zoot. I like Zoot.
hold on, I think these 3 tell a story where I met you when I was a swinger, but then
Oh boy.
we were just friends. And then it became the innocent years. I don't know.
Those were the innocent years.
I think you got that backwards.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, and then I'm going to have 2 copies of this in the auction. This is one of the best CTI records.
Cool.
Okay. All right, that's pretty much it, I think.
I found this Pablo on my dig, Rob, yesterday.
Yeah.
I'd never seen this before. Does anyone know who this guy is?
Actually, I see that often. I don't know who he is.
There's
There's
like-
some
Go ahead.
there's
Does
some
that say how
Pablo-
it age you?
Kenny Barron's on it playing electric keys, and
Wow.
Al Foster and Ben Brown, who I don't know, and then Azadin Weston on percussion. But yeah, I haven't listened yet. It looks interesting.
Young Zoot's good too. Zoot's good just generally. Like I have that Bethlehem that he did. That is outstanding. Killer quartet. Some of those Bethlehem records are really like, if you look at the lineups on them, they're just killers. Not all Bethlehems, but there are some that are really good.
I love when
I
you
would
get
have two Chris Connor ones on Bethlehem.
This is
I have her.
Chris.
Yeah, I have her first one, that 10-inch, the black and white
yeah.
10-inch. I got that for like $8 or something. Clean.
Yeah, I love when you find like a cheap Bethlehem in perfect condition, and then you like put it on and it sounds so good, and you're like, this was $6, and like
Yeah.
it sounds unfucking believable. You know, it's like,
Yeah, they were good.
yeah,
If you ever find this record, this is probably one of the best Pablos that they've ever put out. This
oh yeah.
atmosphere. This is really good.
I never
This
heard
is
of it.
Cool. That's a great
What's-
cover.
Atmosphere. That's a good title.
See, now that looks cool.
Name.
That looks like a cool record.
It is a cool record, and if you can ever find it,
Who's on there?
get it.
I
I
got
think
it.
this. Yeah.
The Dizzy Rascal one I got yesterday, not Dizzy Rascal, Dizzy Gillespie one I got yesterday was like Bahena. Have you
Mhm.
seen that one? It's
No,
like
no, that's a double record. I've had that.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
got it. It was in that dig too, and like I know the Afro-Cuban stuff he did for Pablo. Like I've heard some of that. It sounds incredible. That's a little bit more funky stuff, and like that stuff has definitely been sampled in hip hop, like the Dizzy Pablo funkier Afro-Cuban stuff.
Yeah, this guy. So there's one other record that he did on Muse that I've been trying to get for a while.
I know that record.
That's an expensive one.
Yeah.
That if you ever see this, buy it. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah.
So I think so. Here's how I would answer Anthony's question, because I understand the sentiment of it. I think that people who get into jazz through a small group, like late 50s, early 60s style, maybe Miles' second quintet style, when then they go back and hear Ellington with a large group, it's for them it's like almost like a different genre. That's why I feel like there's so much good Ellington, that small group on Pablo. I've said this like 15 times the past 2 weeks, but that this one's for Blanton with him and Ray Brown. That is an exceptional record. It's a duo. Or Money Jungle with Mingus and who's the drummer on that? Is it Max Roach? And like killer Ellington record. Like there's the Newport record. If you want the bigger band stuff, that is a killer record. So I think it's because people are, I don't know, because Ellington, I can see why people are like, well, I never got into Ellington. I don't listen to him. In a way, I could see that because like he connotes like an older style.
No.
What do you think?
I think there's obviously people think of Ellington, they think of his big band, but even throughout his career, he did do smaller piano-based records. But if you really want to see Ellington in a different light, pick up the this one's for Blanton. That's part of Chad's reissue.
That's what
That
I'm
is
saying.
one of the best Pablos you can get.
Best records you can get, period.
Yeah. Get that record, but there's
that will get you into Ellington.
Yeah, but the one with Mingus and Max Roach.
Yeah, that's great too. And that's
There's
a tone poet. You should be able to get
several
that.
Ellington records where he's just playing piano.
Yeah, all my like a lot of my Ellingtons are not his like older stuff, and they're fun to collect. And yeah, I honestly think he's not. I mean, I think he's underappreciated. I think it's obvious.
Well, he was popular. Here's my thing.
No, I know,
that.
I know. Like in terms of like if you watch like a documentary, but I just mean like the regular collector. I think they.
Yeah, but there's most people when they think of Ellington are not thinking of the 80s, 70s, 80s Pablo. They're thinking of
right
the 30s, 40s big band type stuff.
Yeah.
And
to that extent, I think that Ellington probably gets lumped in with some of the other like the big bands, maybe even people who haven't heard it, but the people who know that. Associate big band with sappy garbage type stuff, whereas Ellington and Basie had a whole different soul feel to them, but people just don't listen to it because it's old big band stuff.
I have an Ellington record.
Mostly, that's who I was
from. I have an Ellington record from the 50s where he's in a trio. So he did do these recordings, but pick those up. Pick up that Blanton record. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, and the older stuff is really good too. But I think if I think to get you into Ellington, there's definitely there's multiple entry points depending on what your background is.
I mean, plus, I mean, when you start listening to that, like Chad's version, I have the 45 of the Ellington suites.
Oh yeah, and I just got the Duke Ellington Johnny Hodges side by side. Those Verve records,
Yeah.
woo, those are killer.
Very nice.
Yeah,
My-
He did a Sinatra album. It's Francis A. and whatever, but that's a pretty cool record too.
Pretty tough album too.
Yeah.
I got a split. I might come back later if you're still on, but I did want to mention how much I'm enjoying my Freddie Hubbard that I just got. This is the new,
nice.
The new one. I don't know.
Music on vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really digging that. And of course, it has Herbie Hancock, who I saw strutting around on the stage not long ago. So. All right.
Hey, by the way, what was the best thing you saw at the Big Ears?
Best is always debatable. I have to say, probably my personal favorite was seeing John Paul Jones solo. But Laurie Anderson, Herbie Hancock. I really dug. There was an African singer that I wasn't at all familiar with, but her name is Fatima Diawala or something like that. I want to check out some of her stuff. But Big Ears is my favorite thing of the year. So.
And if you want to see some really good pictures of the back of people's heads, follow Roger on Instagram.
You can see the back of their heads better than anybody else's photos.
Yes.
All right. I got to split though. I'll see you.
Bye. Take care.
Roger.
See you, kids.
What did you pick up anything killer from yesterday, Billy?
Oh yeah, I heard you picked up like a $250 record haul.
I did, but I don't. It was kind of blurry. It's not as. I went once and then I went back to I got a lot of good stuff the first time I went to this collection, and then I went back yesterday and I got a lot of common stuff. But I got it. He had a lot. It's sad that no one cares about Cecil Taylor, Ornette Coleman, and
I do.
Art Ensemble of Chicago. No, I understand that. So do I. But it's those records just sit. No one. But he had every Ornette, the whole discography of Ornette and Cecil.
Was his prices okay?
I'm gonna go through it and then offer him just kind of what I usually 40% of what I'm gonna sell it at.
You know what I would love to see you do is if you picked up all his Ornette, make a video, show it, talk about it, and sell it that way, and educate people and get them into it and tell them why, and then be now come to my shop and buy this stuff.
Well, the problem is I don't even listen to there's so I love the Ornette stuff. I feel I got into the Atlantic titles because I love that period for him a lot. Those 4 records and the contemporary stuff I really like. But a lot of these are later, a Flying Dutchman one that I don't know much about. And
the Artist House, I've been picking up some of those. Those are great.
I just saw one with the yellow cover, the Artist House with the yellow cover.
I have that one.
The white one is the one I have, the address one, I don't know. But
I have
the best record I did get, and his son was there, and his son put it on, and his son plays piano, and last time I was there, his son grabbed that Monastery Alice Coltrane record, the one on Impulse that's blue and purple or whatever. It's super. It's $250 right now. You can't.
I have a copy of
Huntington Ashram or whatever it's called.
I have it right here.
Yeah. So he put that on. He's yeah, I think I'm gonna take this one. And I was oh, are you kidding? I was oh, that's cool. Yeah, you're really gonna like that record. So this time he put on. I had to be cool about it, and I was just he took 5 records. He doesn't even know what it is, and he's taking that record. So he put on. Yeah. It's unbelievable. It was in mint condition. I saw Easy Come Easy Go. But this time he put on, I turned my head and I saw the cover, and it was Stanley Cowell's Musa on Strata. And it was you could tell it was shining in perfect condition. And he's let's see how this one sounds. I was oh my God. I was I knew that there was nothing there as close as good to that. And I've tried to get that record. There's a I think there's a version, it's all solo. There's a version that he does of Equipoise or Equipoise. That famous thing that's on, it's on Members Get Weary. It's on. He has a record called that. It's on a few other Cal records. But anyway, so he put it on, and this time I had to be like, listen, I've been looking for you have to let me take this, because he almost took it. So that was I got that record out of it. That was probably the best thing. But there's like lots of
does the guy know the value of these records?
no, but like they're like it's too political for like, and I kind of got to be honest. So like what I'm giving him is like 40% of what I'm going to sell, but like I'm going to price some of those Ornets at like $5 or $10, like at least in terms of like what I think they're worth for me to buy in a way. Like, so I think a lot of it, it's like Blondie, The Clash, like a lot of that shit. There was some like I said, there was like the Pablo titles. There was the Heliocentric Part 2, the Sun Ra, on
ESP.
Yeah, which is weird because no one really seems to want to buy that Sun Ra record, at least from my shop. Maybe I need to price it.
Is that the black and white one or the volume 2?
People put it on volume 1 and 2. People put it on, and then like you can see them immediately like take, because it's like in terms
it
of
sounds
Sun
like
Ra,
shit. It sounds like shit.
and it's like really free. It's like there's
But
parts
it's
on it that are
yeah.
clamoring,
Yeah.
like Sun Ra is so weird because sometimes like the record Rob showed earlier is like this beautiful duet record with like Walt Dickerson, like it's like sounds like the heavens, and then you could put on like another thing and it's like ragtime, but then you put on this and it's just like noise, it's like.
But I remember I was sampling it at a
He's
shop, and
communicating with the
the
mothership.
press, like the recording sounded like it wasn't
Yeah.
that great on that.
Yeah, there's some ESPs where you put it on and you're just like, oh no, this sounds so bad, like the pressing.
Yeah.
So
Most of
I'm
them
curious-
sound pretty good though. At least the ones I have.
I'm curious that this guy, did he originally buy all these records?
Yeah, he bought them for like 50 cents and he kept bringing that up because he said when everyone got out of CDs, he bought a bunch of records, and he had really interesting taste. Like I got the Charlie Rouse record from Strata last time, and that was like,
Ooh, Charlie Rouse.
that
What's one
record is
called?
5 and 1 or 2 plus. I don't
2
know.
is 1. Yeah,
2
2
is
is
one.
1.
It's on Pure Pleasure to put it out, right?
It's funky too, but it's so good.
That's amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like some other Strata and ESP stuff that he's just acquired, and it's like tons of like I still have a lot of it at the shop. Like Rob, that Roscoe Mitchell that you showed.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's an
That's a
OG.
good record. Yeah, I shouldn't have sold it. I want it back. I'll buy that one.
Damn. You could probably sell that for a lot of money now.
It's like 250, 300, I think. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Okay.
The
Or you can buy the Pure Pleasure one.
no, I don't do that shit.
All that Strata stuff is expensive. I was looking, I think today. I think there was like one sealed copy of something for like $3,000, and I was just like, God damn!
Do you know the hand clapping piano work? Oh my god, that one's expensive.
I'll say this, but I won't say what record it is. I
Yeah.
just sold a sealed Strata East record
Why won't you say which it
Okay.
is?
because I just don't want to say what it is. I keep it to myself.
Privately, tell me.
I sold it for $450.
That's sick.
Wait, hold on. Can we see the label on that?
Yeah,
Joe?
it's a little bit. There was 2 labels at the time for Strata East. There's
Yes.
I don't know. I think this is
Is it blue? No.
no. Is there
Well,
other-
there's that sky
the
blue
blue,
one. That's
blue is
pretty
the
good.
80s. The blues
Oh,
are
no,
really
that's
80s.
not-
Have you heard how those sound?
No, but I just what's funny is like this is the weird. That's beautiful.
Okay.
One thing I wanted this Stanley Cowell, so I willed it into existence. So I recently bought, I think on eBay, a blue one for $80, which I think is like a good price. But it's in the mail right now, so I'll be getting the blue while I play the original, so I can do an AB for sure and let you guys know. But the blue, my friend who comes to the shop a lot swears that like the blues sound really good, and you can get.
I heard they all sound good. They just periodically press them
Okay.
and just put different labels on.
All right, this is a good transition because I have some other records I didn't show. So I'm
That's not
gonna.
good.
Okay, so maybe Billy, you know about this.
Yeah.
I found this.
is that the Pharaoh Sanders?
The Dolphy
Yeah.
series, yeah,
So I have the Pure Pleasure reissue of this.
yeah.
So this isn't, from what I can tell, this is a 1997 pressing. If you go to the Discogs listing, underneath it, even though
Okay, yeah, I've heard about this. I know that.
even though he's not on here, so I don't know what Stanley Cowell's involvement with Strata East is.
He was the
No,
the founder.
He's an owner.
Okay,
Yeah. He
so
was
I heard
the
a
owner.
story. Yeah.
Charles-
Hold
Charles
on.
Tolliver
Okay.
was the founder.
So based on what Joe said, if you go to the Discogs listing, some guy says Yeah. When Stanley needed money, he would repress the records.
I think I put
Right.
that in there. Yeah.
So do you know if these 1997s, if they're repressing from the original plates, or did they? Yeah.
My theory is that when they needed to do like a Japanese CD release,
Yeah.
they would like go to Cowell or whatever, and like he would take it as an opportunity maybe to like I think they're digital. I think because I've actually sold a few of those 91s. They're always the one at the very bottom of the listings on Discogs, and it's like there's no year and the information's weird. Apparently those have the catalog number next to like the way they differ from the originals is on the label. There's like a subtlety with like, yeah, like see how it has the SES. See how it has the SES there? I think that's not on the original ones, and so but it looks everything else is like exactly the same.
Wait,
right or wrong?
SES, I think is there. Well, I don't know. Maybe
Here,
I'm
let,
wrong.
let
Maybe
me
I'm wrong. I don't know.
because I played them.
There's a distinction. I
Together?
don't know what it is, but
I played the Pure Pleasure and this one next to each other, and I didn't hear a huge difference. Maybe the Pure Pleasure because maybe it was pressed better.
I mean,
I
maybe
don't
they
know.
use the same files because who knows about those tapes? There's just like no information as to like. the
Well, I'm
spec-
starting to hear rumors. I'm starting to hear rumors that there's going to be some, like, well, not even rumors. Joe
No, it was
Harley
on.
with,
They have an Instagram where they said.
and I heard a little something before that too, and then I saw Joe Harley and Tolliver at Kevin Gray's studio, and there might I don't know what that means.
Well, what it means is the story I've heard is the artist got back the tapes. Each artist got their own tapes, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
but
true?
Tolliver owns his tapes, and he probably there's probably other tapes that are known. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them.
That brings up a quick little anecdote. Recently, Alueka Bop changed their logo to India Navigation on their page
Really?
because they put out the fair or whatever. So I DM'd them. And I was like, does this mean that you're going to do like a full thing with India Navigation now that you changed? And they were really sweet getting back to me, and they said, no, it's just, whatever. There was the same issue with them, is that India Navigation gave all of the artists back their tapes, so they're just all gone and they have no access to any of them. So that clears that sort of story.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
by the way, here's a good bundle I'm selling. So I have all the Joe Pass Virtuosos.
Cool.
These are
Solo
British
solos?
pressing. These are British pressing.
Yes,
And
I was
then,
gonna say that.
This one too. This live show. This is
They're British
German-
pressings. British
These are
Pablos.
These are British Pablos.
I didn't know they had British Pablo.
Yeah, we're going deep on Pablo.
Yeah, they're really full of themselves. I'll tell you this.
There's also
And
Spanish
then-
Pablos.
What's that?
There's also Spanish Pablos.
That makes sense. It's Pablo.
Okay.
Right?
And then there's the racist Pablos. Did you know those?
Wait, the Pablo. Wait, hold on. The Virtuoso one. I heard that the reason why that was so pricey for a long time is because there are samples that was sampled by hip hop.
Right. Well, I have an OG of this,
But that's just heavily sampled because there's like guitar. It's just guitar.
and this one has a hole drilled through the center of it. So,
Two of them actually, I think.
but that'll be in there, and then, yeah. But cool.
Randy.
But that's interesting about these, that it says whenever he needed money, he would put these out.
I think the same thing happened with ESP disc too, because you see those 70s.
Hey,
you'll see
Rob,
those
ignore Gedwax.
pressings.
Agreed. Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I don't know.
don't
what
need
it
to ignore him. Sorry, go ahead.
I've just heard a lot of sketchy stuff about the people at ESP.
But are there tapes of ESP disc titles?
I don't think so.
Known tape.
I feel like I've emailed them because I wanted to see if like what's it called, Spiritual Unity was ever going to come out like as like an analog.
I think
Because
it was a
they're
similar thing to Strata East where they gave the tapes to the artists, and a lot of those I think just disappeared. So,
but they're pricing.
I took them into
I mean,
the river.
I've heard
pressing-
really bad things about the modern pressings of ESP disc though.
Well, I've bought a couple,
yeah.
and they're not very good pressings. They're warped.
Well, it's so hard too because unlike a lot of other labels where you could compare like a reissue to an original, like if you have an original, there's no reason why you'd need to buy it. Like unless it was just so trashed
There's a funny story about that is like when they reissued, I think they reissued like 2 years ago. They did. Is his name like Ronald Boykins, the bassist?
Oh,
Oh, I
yeah,
have-
yeah,
yeah,
Ronnie
I have-
Wilkins.
And then the other one was the bassist, not Charles Tyler, but there was they put two out at once. And Ken McAuliffe got an extra copy of the Ronald Boykins, and on his page he was doing like a giveaway to anyone who could like write a poem about the record in the comments. And I didn't even know who he was, but I wrote something and I ended up winning that record from Ken McAuliffe.
Well, I
Nice.
have the Ronnie Boykins.
Go watch the
one.
video. You'll see my comments. Beautiful.
I don't know what your opinion, Billy, about these, but I do have the Ronnie Boykins from the early 2000s, the Italian
How
pressing,
you sound?
and it sounds great. It sounds
Get
fine.
Back. I think they're Get Back is the name of
Yeah.
that.
Oh
It
yeah, I
sounds fine.
see that all the time. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to show you a record that I have a copy for myself, and will be in the auction. It's a rare record on Discogs. It hasn't sold for much just because it's rare, but this is a good record. Ronnie Boykins is on it.
Drum roll.
Introducing Kenny G.
So Ronnie Boykins, he was Sun Ra bassist, I
Yeah,
think.
at times I guess,
I
right?
never heard of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
He made
this,
an African record that's sick. Go ahead.
so this is an album, Sonny Stitt album, and Ronnie Boykins plays bass on it. So there
Electric
he is.
bass, does it say?
Let's look at him. Let me see. He's on the cover. I think
There was
he's
a
just
weird.
there.
What label is that? Because I just saw another Sunny Stitt that was like $80. That was like her. It was like a weird '70s gold.
This
record.
is like a private press label.
Yeah, there's a
that-
private. There's another one. Hold on.
Oh yeah. I think that's
So-
is it the same label, Rob, that you sent me that
Yeah.
Transact.
So,
drum?
but
Is
this
that-
is good. It's Sonny Stitt. But the thing, Ronnie Boykins, is he played with Sun Ra. He did that one solo record for ESP, and he died young. So if you should find him on something, it's good. I think this is him, right? I think that's him there. I'll have a copy in my auction of this. So
Hey, Rob,
yeah.
I just want, I found one of the Artist House records, Chet Baker.
Oh yeah, that's
haven't-
one that's not hard to find. That one.
It was originally
good.
put on another label, I think, Galaxy or something.
No, well that's
Well-
I think Bernie Grumman no, Robert Ludwig. That's a Robert Ludwig.
Get full cover. I still haven't listened to it yet.
It's good.
Cool.
Joe, do you have stuff you want to show?
Yeah, I got two things. I mean, I had one of the things we were talking about Strat East, but I found this in Rochester recently.
Was it affordable? Was it affordable?
I mean, it was expensive, but it was. They gave me a good deal because I had been someone that had gone there. So, but I was looking for that one. I'm still looking for Glass Bead Games, but I found this one as well. Billy Harper, Black Saint.
Yes.
This is another one I found a few years ago, a cover for this, but the record wasn't in it, so was able to find the copy. This is like the second pressing because I guess in like the late 70s it went.
Yeah, but
to
does it have the black and white label on it, or is it the
no?
okay?
It has the like the rainbow label that you
Yeah.
saw.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is it. Yeah, because I think there's
That's the same one,
I think
right?
there's two black and white pressings as well, and there's something weird like that on the back.
Okay.
But it's like I don't know. They all sound so good.
I was just happy to find a copy. So it was
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then
That is a great
this
record.
one I didn't even know about. This is Steve Grossman. Great saxophonist, played with Elvin Jones in like the late 60s, early 70s. This one it's called Born at the Same Time.
Please.
No. No, Randy. No.
There's a different cover. This is like it's a French record from the Owl label. There's an alternate cover that's just it's like a picture of him on the front. But I love Steve Grossman, so he's kind of goes in between like post bop and more. I wouldn't call it avant garde, but he pushes it a little bit more. Really, a lot of energy to to his playing. But he's on the Live at the Lighthouse session with
Jones, yeah.
Elvin Jones, along with Dave Liebman. So, but it's I was.
Is
those
there is there a Steve Grossman that you should get?
Yeah,
'Cause I don't know.
the shape of jazz.
Shape of
things-
yeah, I have here. Let me grab it. I'll grab it.
The
Okay.
problem with that record is it's so good, but every copy I've found of it sounds like effing like shit. You've
Sorry,
seen
Billy.
that?
I don't want to rub it. I don't want to rub it in, Billy. But this is a near mint copy.
How does it sound?
So it sounds near mint.
Hey, listen,
No,
listen.
I think it's no. I meant the pressing is bad. I've had.
Oh yeah,
copies.
no, you're yeah. When I listened to it last, you were right. It is a little bit more.
You're like it's like
muffled.
distant or like not like
Yeah,
dynamic or like you're like wait, this is so good. I wish this was like clearer.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's not. At times it's kind of like some of the ESP disc stuff is where you wish that it was more up front. But
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
on the PM
Yeah.
record label. So this is a great one.
That's
Yeah,
a good one.
this is a good one. An
That's the best
affordable
one. Yeah.
an affordable Steve Grossman one that's really great is it's called Perspective. I can't think of the label, but that one you see pretty regularly at stores. I don't know, Billy. Do you know what the
No,
Perspective?
I
one?
can't picture that one. I'd have to see that. But the best way to hear Steve Grossman, in my opinion, is like you said, in the Elvin 70s records. Like he's on a bunch of those, and those are so underrated and good. Like every time I put one of those on, you're like, damn, this is like if this is a private press record, it would be like $400. Like it's like those are such deep records.
His
Well,
stuff
but-
is
but-
stuff is tough to find. A
Yeah,
lot
but
of
the Elvin 70 stuff is hit or miss.
I don't know which ones. I mean, I don't which ones are missed.
There's some that like some
Like even
aren't so
Mr.
good.
Mr. Jones,
when he
Genesis.
was on, when he was on
Genesis is
Vanguard.
amazing.
Genesis is amazing. No. Even the stuff on Vanguard though. Some of those are like. There's one on Vanguard that has Kenny Barron on it, and he's like his face. It's like a really weird one, and there's like so many deep like.
No, I have every Elvin one that I have 70s is good. I like.
Yeah,
it.
I've never heard a bad. I mean, it's like
you
like,
have the one where he's like this.
Yeah. That's on the mountain. That's on PM.
Yeah, that's with what's his face, the Jan Hammer, right?
Yeah, because that was Jan Hammer and Gene Perla's label, PM
Right.
Records.
It sounds like that Demi and JD, whatever his name.
Oh, JD and Beck.
Yeah. JD Beck and Demi.
Dommy and Jamie and Dommy.
Yeah, it sounds like that record. They sound like they were influenced by that record.
Billy, the only Elvin Jones that I've heard that's kind of a miss is I think it was maybe mid to late 70s, and it's a brown cover. It's got a picture of him on it, and it has something to do with like merry-go-round. There's one, and it's like his wife has.
I have
Bruno.
that.
Is that bad? I don't know if I've heard that one.
It's not a horrible record.
I don't know. It's not. That was not.
It's
for
not
me.
like Sonny Chirac and his wife doing Yoko Ono shit. But here, Randy, if you're going to get
Speaking
one,
of Sonny Chirac.
this is punky.
It's not funky rock.
No, punky, punk.
Oh, punky. I think you said funky. I was like, I don't know what.
Yeah, this is not a funky record. This
I
is like
cannot
metal
get into it.
jazz.
I have not been able to get into that.
It's like metal jazz. It's good.
I don't know if it's
Billy,
good.
do you have a lot of that stuff? Like do you stock a lot of like free jazz type stuff?
I mean, I wish I had. I mean, I have a lot of it that kind of sits there. It's like there's like 10 people in each city that like this stuff. It's like.
Well, I'm coming in July. My wife
You
and I
can
are.
clean me up. I'll give you 20%. You come tomorrow, I'll give you all of it.
And your store is one of the ones that I'm going to go to. So
Yeah, I mean, there's lots. I was saying before, like, there's lots of free and avant-garde stuff. Like, I've got some weird kind of like human arts ensemble, like private presses that have just been kind of sitting there that like people just don't, just kind of pass by it. And I'm like willing to almost not give it away, but like, underprice it. And
right, just to, yeah.
I mean, it's just because it's like and I love to have all. I'll always put it out because like half my shop or 75% of the shop is just jazz. I'm trying to have at least one copy of like everything that someone's looking for. So I have all of that stuff, but
okay.
I mean,
That's
like
interesting.
except for like, go ahead.
If I would see that stuff in my local shops, I would totally grab that.
I know but we're on YouTube right now talking about jazz. We're a little different. Like,
Hey, Billy, can you hold that Firebirds record for me? or did you sell it?
No, both of you wrote me, Mike, or someone on Jazz wrote me too. It's
I
the
did. It
French
was
press.
me.
Do you care?
Huh? It's the what?
It sounds great, but it's the French press.
French pressings are nice.
Does
Those
it
are
have
good.
coffee stains on it?
No, it sounds.
If
Fran-
it sounds
so-
fine,
I feel like in the jazz world, maybe like the French pressings for whatever reason maybe got a bad rap because of those like DMMs that they did for Blue Note.
Oh yeah,
But in the classical world, those French classical pressings are like great.
I mean,
So-
those
who won? Who was first in line for the Freebirds?
Jazz Bums wrote me. I don't know who handles the page.
It was me. It was me.
Oh yeah, Mike wrote me, and then he didn't respond.
It was too much. It was too much. It was too much. And even if we negotiated, it'd still
Did I
be too
say
much. 'Cause
100? What did I say? 100? 125?
No, I
so.
think it was one. I think it was 150.
Oh, I'm down to 100 now. We're negotiating live.
There's one I found for $60.
The French
It's not
one?
pressing. Freebirds.
That's the
$60.
US second, right?
Probably. I just want the album to listen to. Hey, I have a question for Joe. Do you know this record?
No, I remember you showing that in the chat a few days ago. Yeah, Louis Maholo and Keith Tippett, right? Is that?
Yeah.
So it's piano. Is it a piano
I
like
think
duo?
where I found this, they mispriced it horribly,
Okay.
like in my favor. So
Right.
Keith Tippett was in the Soft Machine, right? With Elton
I don't
Dean? No?
was he? Maybe.
He was a part of those British jazz people, right? I don't know. Let's see.
Also, Steve Grossman. I don't know if somebody mentioned this, but he's on a tribute to Jack Johnson with Miles Davis.
I got this new avant-garde artist. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. His name is Sonny Rollins,
Oh gosh.
saxophone colossus.
You know, when Joe is making jokes, he's pretty cocky. Is that an OG copy?
Original pressing, near mint copy as well. No, I'm just gonna no.
What is that?
Just threw
Bergenfield?
that out, sorry,
What pressing is that?
it's a second pressing Bergenfield.
Nice. That's still
Yeah, I got that
awesome.
during COVID, during like right at the beginning of the pandemic. There was
Cool.
a woman selling it on, I think it was on Discogs, but
Very nice.
yeah,
Very
it was still pricey, but I think it was actually the most I had spent at the time. It's like $400.
Well, apparently, like I mean, I saw WFMU. There was a OG for 3,000.
Oh
and
god,
then-
that's ridiculous.
Well, then Michael 45 did like a video of it, and he said he borrowed it, and the price is 3,000. So I
Yeah,
think if it's not 3,000, it's pretty
But
close to that.
here's what's funny. I see the alternative cover of that album twice. It's a Van Gelder in the Dead Wax.
is it like
it's
a
the
60s
gold-
pressing?
It's the gold cover,
Oh,
Okay.
and that record's like $100 record.
yeah.
It's the same metalwork, same plates.
Right. Even I think there may even be a early 70s green label Prestige that has
No,
does that have RVG though, or no? I can't remember when I
no,
looked.
it doesn't have RVG, but it's a stereo. It's not easy to find the stereo version of that, right?
Yeah.
So
Right. There would
I
it would
found
not
it
have
at
been
a-
stereo. So
when I went back to visit my mom, up and down the East Coast are all those antique shops where they have stalls. And I went in there and the guy priced it for $5 because it was dirty. And I
Yeah.
just ultrasounded it clean
that's
and it was
insane.
beautiful. Here,
Yeah.
I'll pull it out. I have it right here.
He was like involved a lot with like the Soft Machine people. He actually joined the Soft Machine legacy in the 2000s, but he was they had a foursome with Alton Dean and Robert Wyatt, and it was called "Here I Am There" from 1969, and that was Tippett's debut recording in a sextet. But I guess he was never in Soft Machine.
I listened to this recently this weekend again.
Oh, Lee Morgan. Cool.
Been a while. Search for the New Land. This is probably my favorite Lee Morgan title, other than
Yeah,
I do like. I know a lot of people don't like his first record on Blue Note presenting Lee Morgan. I think that's a phenomenal session.
Well, you don't have his last album, do you, Joe?
Or the last album, or the one that's called the last album, or
The one that's
just-
called Lee Morgan. It's a double album.
Yeah, I
His
have that.
last-
That's a great album. Yeah,
That's my favorite. That's
Yeah.
his best one. But
Yeah.
second is that one.
yeah,
So-
yeah.
All right. So this is the French pressing of the Firebirds.
Oh, look. Okay, fine. Let's price it how I would. This is how I price things.
Okay.
right,
Well,
so-
hold on. Before we do that, let's just look at this because this is beautiful. Can I make this bigger?
Do it.
Oh, it's making it smaller. So, like, okay, the cover's fine. Since it's French, it has the flip back jacket, which is
That's right.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Really, I mean, I love these
Are you
jackets.
hearing this, guys? This is a beautiful thing.
Look at the look at the pressing. Look at the detail. The
Yes.
typeface. I love that. I mean, and what year is this?
Are you
Is that
getting a
year?
boner right now, Mike?
Does it doesn't say what year. Released between. So this is a late '60s pressing. So this is.
I think
old
it came out late
school.
60s, right?
What's a France?
I'm not sure the release date.
Is it 60?
But-
Was it like 64, 65?
Let's
So
check.
we have.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Let me go back to the main page.
Let's get
here.
let's get a
68. Okay, so this is pretty much when it came out.
It says wait, it says 68 and then the notes say between oh, I thought you said between 66. Okay.
No. Bobby Hutcherson,
Yep.
mastered by Bernie Grunman,
Hell yeah.
Prince Lachey, Sonny Simmons, Charles Moffat, Buster Williams, Lester Koenig, produced obviously. But
125.
anyway, just great. So you already said 100. So we're at the low here. So high is 170.
Hold your horses. You said no. Then
I didn't say
started
no.
talking to him.
No, but I will say no. I'm not gonna.
You want to know how I price things?
Well, hold on. Let's see. There's two
A
available.
little bird flies over and talks to you.
So first of all, there's two available outside the United States. So you'd have to pay extra for shipping if you did want to buy one of these,
Like,
but you
gotta
can't
buy a
even
plane ticket.
you can't even buy this one. This one's
You can't buy it in the States.
so you,
Billy,
there's
this was
one.
this
so
was not a
essentially
good
this would
time
cost
to
you about-
negotiate with Mike on the
Yeah.
price because he still
Why?
hasn't paid off his credit card for the month. So
Uh-oh.
he's still.
Well, anyway, it is
poor.
beautiful.
I have my college.
Mike, look at the past sales. You gotta
Oh, and look at
past
this.
sales.
Look at this wonderful pressing of a personal favorite. It's nice to have the liner notes in French. A keeper record. It's great, man.
Cool.
That's a great record.
Wait, can we look at past sales? I'll
Hey,
tell you
do you
what.
want to buy a used car from that guy?
All right. Am I still sharing? Okay.
Yeah, past sales.
Uh,
So right now, so my thinking is right. You can't get in the States. You're gonna have to pay a lot. Okay,
at that.
it's only come up once a year for the past 2 years. It's last time it was sold, it was 168. Come on, man. And then 2022, okay, that guy got a deal. And then it was like $100 in 21.
Yeah.
So it's obviously on an uphill climb. Only one was sold last year and it was 168. And you can't get one for less than 175 right now in the States. So obviously 150 was high, but still the best price, at the time. If I did say
Yeah.
if I did say that.
And a gorgeous pressing and jacket and all of that.
Yeah, you get all that with the record.
Why are you selling it, man?
Because I just got a copy of a US. I have a US and I
Okay.
country of origin. So I got a really good deal on I don't know if it's first, but it's the green. It's green. And I guess that is for, it's like when they were in 68, they were doing, the not green, but it's like the teal label, which you can also get there's a lot of great records. Like the Sonny Simmons on there is that color, and the Woody Shaws are like green too. So I think it's first. I haven't looked in a second, but I think I got a green one for like $100, and I think it's like a lot more than that now or something.
The
Yeah,
Fox
so-
Harold Land is also when they moved from whatever hi-fi jazz to contemporary. That the first pressing of
Oh
contemporary.
yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Let's check this out. Check
I
this
like
out.
the
Check
green
this
ones.
out. Where,
ones
why
are
can't
pretty.
well, it's the first pressing. So
Yeah.
this-
There's only 3
this-
pressings. Yeah. So I got that for $100. Let's look at what it really costs.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
What's it costing these days?
That's the first pressing. So there's 3. Okay, so it's
No, I
in that
got it
same
for-
price range.
I think I got it for like 80. Maybe.
I know, but the thing is, okay, there's a VG copy for 120. That's pretty good.
yeah,
That's
Where
pretty
what do
good.
they say? Disc is glossy. VG sleeve. Come on, who cares?
And then there's an OG for 165 plus 20
When I
shipping
see lights-
from Turkey.
I think that when I read Rowdy's 7698, I might take a risk on that because he might be conservative, glossy, but it has light surface and scuffs. Who cares if it's
Yeah,
if it's
Yeah.
cosmetic? You're getting a VG plus record.
yeah, that's a good deal. I'm gonna add that to my cart.
Let's go.
Um,
You won't take a mint.
Add to my
mint
cart.
for-
just gonna leave it in there. We'll see what happens. No rush. Anyway, that's
They're
cool.
doing the Cry, right? So is that going to push the market up of the Prince Lasha?
No,
doing
because
that?
that means if
Oh,
that
for
does
sure.
well, they'll reissue that. I really want the
Everyone's
Sonny
been
Simmons. I want the
everyone's
Sonny Simmons.
sorry, but everyone's been. I posted a picture of this, and I haven't gotten to listen to it. I listened to it years ago, but I forgot. I don't think I've like processed it. But it's the Prince Lasha record called Inside Story that has Herbie Hancock on it, and I
Is
think
that the Enja one? Is that
it's
the
on
Enja
Enja,
one?
yeah. And like when I posted that in my story last week from the shop, like 4 people, it's like a $40 record, but like 4 people wrote me being like, "Do you have the Inside Story still? Do you have the Inside?" I don't know if it's like we should look up the
Yeah.
listing. We should look up that listing because I don't know.
Let's not, hold on. Let's calm down. People are influenced by what we say.
Oh, you're right.
Give us some chance to look for it. Hey,
No.
I
Yeah.
really want those Sonny Simmons contemporaries.
They're good, but they're tough to listen to.
Yeah, but I want them.
It's beautiful that one cover when it's not his name. It's like what's it else called? Sonny. It's not Sonny Simmons, but it's like
Huey, that's his real name.
Huey. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I
no.
have.
Oh no,
I
I
have
see why they want it. You can't get it.
Not one in the United States.
Oh no, I get it now.
You know who recently just got that is Jazz Bombs Chris. He just
He
got
did.
that.
Prince Lasha.
Yeah, I have the so he has the original Enja. They reissued it on Inner City here. It's like
Oh,
an Inner
yeah,
City
yeah, yeah.
Enja.
Yeah,
I have that one.
That sounds probably just as good. Yeah.
There
Yeah,
was
yeah, it sounds great.
There was a Sonny Simmons that was on Contemporary, and I can't remember. It started with an R, and it had a picture of him on the front. It was like a green cover. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. It's green and yellow. It's like a
Yeah, and it was supposed to be part of HR Records, like this huge like sale that they had back in January, where they showed like the wall of stuff that was for sale, and that was the only record that was not posted. So whether or not someone like bought it before the auction, I don't know.
It is. Yeah.
That's
But
it.
it was that one. Yes. Yep.
You don't see that
Cool.
one too often. I have a copy somewhere.
This is a great Sonny Simmons one.
That's
One
ESP,
copy.
right?
Yeah, this
One
is an
copy.
ESP. Yeah.
Yeah,
Music
I have-
Spheres.
I actually found a copy of the Italian for early
Yeah.
2000s. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been trying to find this record
Out of-
for a while.
Out of all of these, there's one copy.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
I kicked myself because I was in a record
It's in-
store like 2 years ago and I saw it for $70. I didn't buy it.
Damn. Who's on it with him? Let's see. Hold on. Give me a
What's the
second.
one where he's like
Is it-
standing with the like on the New York cityscape and it's like a silhouette?
Yeah, that's
Oh, that's-
ESP.
Is
That
it-
one I've never seen that in the wild. Is that like a really free jazz record or is it more modal or post
I think
boppy?
it's
Or...
free.
I think it's
but,
more funk. Isn't
Are you
it more
talking about
funky?
the one that's on the hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
the
that one's,
CD.
yeah, that's free. Yeah, that's
I
Yes,
have
It's free?
the one that's not hard to get is the R. Hooley one with his wife.
Barbara
Dalton or whatever.
Barbara Donald. Yeah,
Well, she's on this contemporary one, so I just wanted to
she's
see who's on this.
phenomenal. Yeah,
So Barbara Donald, Mike Cohen, Billy Higgins, bass right channel, bass left channel. Look at that. That's cool. That's really cool.
That's some like Ornette Coleman shit.
yeah. You see that a lot with like
Right.
avant-garde free stuff. Is
Very
two
nice.
basses, two drums, like that.
Very cool. Love to get that.
Is that like Arca or like string bass and other bass, or are they just both just wailing away?
Yeah,
on bass?
remember, do you have that Ron
Just
Carter
his
album
bass.
where he's playing that tiny bass and
The
the
tiny
other guy's
bass.
playing great. Yeah, I forget what he's
The
called.
cello? The cello?
No, it's a different instrument.
I don't know that record.
Is it a viola? Are you talking about a viola?
Yeah,
Rob?
yeah, he's playing like viola, and Cecil McBee is playing the regular bass, or Richard Davis.
Or
I
are
forget.
you? I was just kidding. Is that really what it was?
I can go look for the record, but it's a double record of Ron Carter on Milestone.
Yeah.
Good.
I have a question. Is there a good solo Ron Carter record? Because if there is, I've never heard one.
Yes. Well, you mean yes, the one with Joe Henderson on it. That's
All
a
the
good one.
covers look the same from him.
Yeah, they all look the same.
and I
The one
never
he
know
did
which-
on the one he did on Herbie Mann's label.
Oh,
that's-
Uptown Conversation.
Yeah, that's a good record.
Okay, that was in the dig yesterday. I've never listened to it. It better be good. I'll listen.
Well,
to
what are
it.
you gonna do? Smother me to death in Austin? I mean, I can tell you this: regardless of what you think it sounds good or not, you could sell that record. That record sells.
Didn't you? I think I've heard you say that there's one that Henderson's on. Are you guys when you're Henderson deep?
Yeah, it's a CT. Well, it's that off label. What is it?
You do?
Kudu. It's Joe Henderson's on it. It's all black with a picture from Ron Carter on it. It's good.
Do you guys know Patrice Rushen's first record on Milestone?
I don't think so.
I mean,
she made Forget Me Nots, which was like that song that
right.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that she's like 80s.
Yeah, so
soul.
she's a super talented jazz modal piano player, and she put out a record on Milestone, and it's like all Joe Henderson, and it's like the same years as like all the other stuff.
Is she singing on it or just playing?
No, she plays. There's no singing on it. It's like
Cool.
it's a jazz record. It's like so deep. It sounds like a it doesn't sound like anything. I mean, I like her funky disco pop stuff. It's good. Like, and her she was always around the right players. Like, she's just, she's kind of like in the pocket there. There you go.
She still plays, right?
There's no singing.
This is Prestige. This is Prestige.
Oh, sorry. It is.
Is this okay? All right.
Okay. You're right. My bad. Yeah. Prestige had a lot of cool green titles in that era, right? Like where it was like
and they had some reissues on the green titles that were great. Like
but they were putting out like the Idris Muhammad records and like the Erlin records that were like, I don't know, they had a moment in the 70s.
There's a few Melvin Sparks from the early 70s that are great as well.
Let's look at this though.
Is there something wrong with me that I can't get into Idris Muhammad? I just can't do it.
I
think this is when like Azar Lawrence and then Woody Shaw too, right? Woody Shaw.
Yeah. And the Art Blakey stuff, those 3 records that he did, like those really cool. The one Child Play, and then the one that has the Tribe Called Quest sample on it, and
and I think Woody Shaw plays with him on at least one of those. Yeah.
No, he plays on all of them.
He does. Okay. No, there's some cool later contemporaries, and that's why it's cool that Jazz Dispensary put out that Woody Shaw. I mean, hopefully, it's an indicator that they,
Well, it's not just that one. They've been putting out lots of interesting titles.
But I mean, of that Prestige like neon green label years,
Well, I mean, I had an OG Idris Muhammad. That was worth some money. I found it.
Is it the one where he's strumming, like going like this, like on the cover? That one?
It's his first solo album on Prestige.
Oh, actually,
It's green label. It came out as a green label.
I think I know.
There's also that Greasy Kids album on Prestige. You guys know that one?
Hey, let's not try to offend people, man.
Greasy Kids.
It's like, do you know that one?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I gotta put this on your radar.
I gotta see it. I don't know it.
Hold on, I'm spelling it wrong. Give me a second.
Greasy Kids.
Oh, am I messing up the name? Is that not what it's called? It is. Oh, it's Greasy Kids Stuff, I think.
Oh wow, I don't.
Yeah, it's one of the few, if not
Harold Mabern.
Yeah, it's one.
I've seen that around. Yeah,
this might be the only Prestige that has Lee Morgan on it. Don't quote me on that, but
we don't. It's true right now.
Harold Mabern, Lee Morgan, Hubert Laws, Buster Williams, Idris Muhammad, and Joe Jones.
Damn.
And it's 1970. It's a cool record. Look, it's not bad price.
All right, let's double check. It looks
one in the United States. Dr. Jazz, that's a good seller.
Good plus.
It's G plus though.
Yeah. Plus. If you just get a bowl of Rice Krispies if you want to hear.
Hey, it's the only copy in the country, guys.
Just add it to your cart, Mike.
I walked away in Austin. I was in Austin last month or whatever, and they had a sealed copy of Harold Mabern on Mainstream. I forget which one, but it was like those records are pricey, and it was sealed. It was $50, and it's one of those records where I'm like, I should have bought it, but I've never really gotten into Harold Mabern. I know like people like it in the sort of like soul jazz world, and I know a lot of Mabern stuff was like kind of cited when they were the whole like acid jazz became like a thing in the like UK in the 90s. Like Harold Mabern was like one of the kind of like figures of like where it was like what's it called? Reassessed.
I have his Rakin' and Scrapin' album on Prestige. That's pretty good.
Is that like a funky one, or is that like a more?
It's before he goes like full funk. It's early. I don't think it's definitely not his first record on Prestige, but it's got a red cover and it's an early record of his. And
He plays
he
organ,
does,
right? Does he play organ?
No, I think he plays piano on it, but he does he does one like contemporary standard of Grapevine on it.
Oh,
which is kind of cool. I mean, I think it's a cool record.
I mean, I'll buy anything that I see of his.
Dude,
Yeah.
here,
Definitely.
right here, Billy, I have the a Venus record he did, which is awesome.
Let's see it.
You know, I think it's in this pile right here. Give me a second.
I guess there's a
By
record.
the way,
on Venus
this is
that's-
another good
Have that.
Pablo.
That's Paulina Costa. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's a good Pablo.
Yeah, I guess there's a record on Venus that's Grant Green's Son from like the 90s. And
Oh wow,
there is an LP of it.
This is really good.
that looks wild.
I mean, all the Venus covers are
I don't know Venus. What's Venus?
a Japanese jazz label.
Cool. That's a nice label.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, do you guys watch that guy's channel Needle? I think it's Needle Groove or something. The guy from Canada.
Yeah.
He just posted a Pablo video of like
I
five.
saw that.
Oh, you saw it? Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, but he self-admittedly seemed to not know a ton.
I know he knows a lot about the more funky kind of jazz spiritual side. I don't think he cares about the Duke Ellington Ella side.
Yeah. Hey, a question for Jazz Bomb Mike. So an incident happened this morning where someone claims they tried to meet me in Amoeba, and I don't. I remember the guy, but I don't remember him trying to talk to me. And it formed an opinion of me, where he kind of said, "Hey, if I met Bob Bradley in person, he would be much nicer."
Well, hold on.
So-
No, he made a video. This is so just for people to know. This is a video.
It's he made a video where he shows vinyl. This was just part of it. So it wasn't like he made a video talking about his experience with me. Because generally when I meet people in person, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm doing as a nicety. So he had 95 subs this morning. So I asked everyone on Rachel's stream, hey, go sub the guy up and leave a nice comment. So what are the subs at now? He's at 127.
127.
Can you go to the comments?
Drop it in the drop his page. I can't find his page.
There, I just put it in the chat.
So here's my favor I'm asking people. Go to this guy and sub him up and leave a nice comment, please. As an apology for whatever I did to upset him. Because I've met plenty of people in person, and generally when they say, hey, are you the Waxed? I go, yes. And we have a nice conversation. None of that happened with this guy. I don't remember him trying to have a conversation with me. So,
Do you know who the guy is, Rob?
Well, let me ask you a question, Joe. You're a young guy, and I bet you can count on one hand the amount of times you met someone with a handlebar mustache in your life, and you remember that. Right. Am I wrong about this?
That's probably true, right?
I remember every person. In fact, he wasn't my grandparent.
I just left a comment.
My cousin's grandfather always wore a handlebar mustache, but I can remember every person I ever met with a handlebar mustache. So I would have I remember the guy being near me at Amoeba because you remember that kind of guy.
Did he just happen to be at Amoeba the same time you were?
Well, if you go watch his video, he says, I walked into Amoeba to the jazz section, and there was one guy on one end and me on the other end, and he seemed to be not happy about that in the video. Then he went right to the middle and found a great record. So he should be happy. But he claims he tried to have a conversation with me honestly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Even if someone said, hey, that's a cool jazz
video yet.
Everyone I've ever met listen, regular people I'm nasty to. I say get the fuck out of my face. But when someone comes up to me and we talk in jazz, I have a conversation. But I have no bad feelings to the guy. In fact, I asked everyone to go sub him up and leave a nice comment. That's all.
Hey, Joe, you mentioned earlier that you got that Clifford Brown on Strata East, and then you're also still looking for Glass Speed games.
Oh yeah,
Jordan.
Yeah.
Glass Speed games, like the originals, they're like $500, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
like what
expensive,
what you're looking for now. Like, has that gone up since I mean, I haven't looked in probably 6 months, but
I
like, is
think
that
there was
still
one on the wall at Atomic.
for how
I-
much?
I think I mentioned this to you earlier once, but I think Jazz Bums should do a you know how you can go to eBay and look at past sales? Just go to Jazz Record Center's past sales and like
What?
just analyze the past month of records, because they've sold that one too, but analyze the last month of records and the prices at which, I know everyone saw the $12,000 Coltrane video or whatever, but like the rest of the records, it's so insane what is going on there right now.
But you know what? Okay, so here's a thing. Like, we had a discussion about these companies, like the ones who do baseball cards and action figures.
Yeah.
And the only reason I would love this for records is for these situations.
Yeah.
What happened to Mike?
Well, no, but I think people trust. I mean, I don't think that matters because Fred is like such a trusted voice in like collecting, and I think if he had sold one and it wasn't, it's like Better Records of jazz now in a sense where like if he had sold one and someone complained, like people wouldn't continue because it's probably the same 10 guys.
But it's really like there's this guy. He's the head of Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
He might walk into your store. He's in New York. He's famous for I've heard a story that Jim told me.
Yeah.
He heard a guy had a record store and he goes, I'll be there on Thursday.
Yeah.
He couldn't make it. And he goes, just box everything up and charge me. There are guys like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, look, I'm a firm believer. A record's worth whatever someone wants to pay for it. If you can get $12,000 for a record, more power to you. But here's the issue with the Fred dude. His life is not, his store's success is not based on one guy buying a $12,000 record. His success are people like us going there and leaving his 5 records.
Not anymore.
And do what a record store here in LA did.
Yeah.
There's a record store called Rockaway.
Yeah.
Those guys they're not open to the public anymore. They sell to just those guys. So you know what? Shut down your shit and just sell to those guys.
I actually agree with you.
No,
I agree with you. Go ahead. Sorry.
I
agree. Mike, I heard you go there, but like I used to go there a lot and I would leave with like 4 or 5 records or 6 and I would look through everything. And that's like, there's a lot to look through. And I feel like if you're at my shop, not to compare or whatever, but like you could look through we could look through one row at my shop and find more that you can find there right now. And I'm not saying that to gloat. I'm just saying that because I was so frustrated that like I went there last time. I looked through every record and I only found one interesting record that like I felt, I know that there's different tastes for everyone, but like for a jazz record center that's like a store, it's not the same it was 2 years ago when I went there and like the bins were filled. Like the new releases were all like Japanese presses and there were no OGs because all the OGs like, so now what's happening on eBay is he'll put up a record that you could probably buy somewhere for 80, which would have been in the store at one point, but now he's getting like 250 to 300 for it because it's in this thing. So now none of the you can find like an $8 like Mark Murphy vocal jazz record or something, but it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't, so now
it's time for your back massage, Joe.
Hey, Billy, there was,
well, go ahead. Wait, Joe's close. Joe knows.
So Billy, there was a guy that, a few years ago, I used to message on Instagram and we kind of went back and forth because he had like an entire original run of all the Blue Note titles from 1500 to 4250. And he had he did all this stuff on Instagram with it and everything.
Yeah.
And I reached out to him as I was getting more into, I was trying to find the 1500 titles, and I looked at the UA mono ones, and he had a bunch that he's like, oh yeah, I got this stashed. Let me check them out. And it kind of time went by, and I contacted him again. I said, like, these are the titles I'm looking for. Do you have any of these? And he's like, oh, I've got like these two. I'll sell them to you, but I do have the other ones, but I'm hesitant to sell because I can make so much more money on an eBay. And he was even surprised. And this was a guy that had been doing it for 20 or 30 years. And he found that by putting it on eBay, he could get those UA monos. He could get
I'm sorry, I'm dinging.
$250, $300 for them. So
are you communicating with Fred Ushiel? Are you communicating with them? Hey, Billy, here's my feeling about this.
What's your feeling?
Again, more power to Fred. Get as much money as you can. That's what I would do.
I do too. I agree.
But it literally is a fuck you to his regular customers. It is. And if no one's, he could be the nicest guy in the world. Fuck you, Fred. If you watch my stream, which I doubt, seriously, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. If you're going to sell a record for $12,000, put one in your store for your regular loyal customers so they can buy it.
Buy another collection from that 12 grand and like litter it into the thing.
No, this is what I'm saying. If you want to have a brick and mortar store open to the public, here's the deal. Mike the Ingroove, and I'm not praising Mike the Ingroove. If you go, from what he said out of his mouth, is he put stuff in his store for his locals, the people that support his brick and mortar.
Yeah.
When you go, I looked at Fred's eBay. I look at him, and he is literally pricing records 40, 50, 60, or 70% more than he should be, even to start an auction, even because they're auction.
I mean, could be.
No,
you're right.
Look, and again, more power to him. It's my choice not to buy it.
Right.
But fuck you, dude. If you're not putting shit in your store, I haven't been to the place. So I know Mike and Billy have. And when you go into that store, what's the average amount of people you see in that store?
One.
Really?
Yeah.
No one goes there?
There's one other person digging. Well, I go like, I'm not there on the weekends or whatever. So like, it's a weird place to get to, and people make a pilgrimage there, and like, and it used to be that like you would find Liberties there and get them for $20, and you'd be like, wow, this is awesome. It was the opposite. You'd be like, this guy just prices everything so low. And like I found like an OJC of like Cats, the Tommy Flanagan, for $8 once, and like, so that was the excitement. That's what drew me there, but that is not happening anymore.
Hey,
hold on. Let me
Mike, my stream. Let me deal with it the way I want to. Okay, Roberto. Again, I just said I never met him, but from what people say, he's a nice guy. That's great, but it's business. How many nice guys? He's not being nice by pricing a record way over what he should. He's trying to make money.
I mean, so pricing, none of his prices even matter because they like, it doesn't, he could put $8, whatever. It's just like, he does price them high, but like, it's just, it's a buyer's market. I mean, it's like,
Billy, is he deciding what is going on eBay versus what's going in the store, or is there somebody?
Oh yeah. I mean, you'll watch, the last time I was in the store, there was like a stat, you could almost like see like Pulp Fiction, where there's like, they open the box and like, their faces light up or whatever. You could see him like looking over this like stack, and it was like glowing, but like, hey, what are those? Like, and you're not gonna.
Hey, dude, drink a cup of coffee. Don't fall asleep behind the wheel.
And like, to be fair, Mike should go next. But to be fair to be fair to him, I don't go there every week like other shops. So it's like, because it's hard to get to. So maybe I'm wrong, but I have shared this with other people. And obviously I'm trying to become like the Jazz Record Center of Brooklyn, because like I am the opposite. I don't sell online. People bother me all the time, and it's part ethical and it's part because, but like I'll make one video and some people will be like, do you ship to Chicago or to Colorado? Like I'll be maybe no, and they'll just ignore their next DM. Like, but like, it's like I want people to be able to come and have that moment at the shop where their mind is blown that like all these things are in one place. And it's like, maybe Fred has been in it long enough, and he's like, he's older. He's like, I'm gonna cash out now. It's like,
Hey, I'm
Okay.
sorry, Jasmine Mike. Go state your piece.
I have 3 points to make.
yes,
One, when I go to Jazz Record Center, I agree, Billy. I do have to dig through everything, but I always find something very good for for undervalue of what it goes on Discogs.
got it.
Probably for multiple reasons, but that's point one. So I do find good stuff there, and not just like I find Avant stuff on like SAP, FMP. I find like super clean Riversides that are very cheap, really good quality. I found a first pressing Pacific Jazz record stereo. I think it was Carmel Jones Business Meeting, sealed for like $30 recently. So I do find good stuff there. So that's one. And I realize that that's like the one after you go through all those bins.
I like to spend $200
So-
at a record store, and it's hard to do that now. That's what I'm saying.
So that's one. Number two, I see the auctions for like the early Blue Notes and Prestige. I'm in my, from what I haven't seen everything, but from what I've seen, those 50s records are basically near mint. You cannot get,
I
they're
agree.
stone cold mint. Perfect. So if you're a big time buyer and have a lot of money and you want perfect original pressings of those, he's got them.
I agree.
So that's one thing. And then three, he wrote this book, The Definitive Guide on Blue Note first pressings, before any of us even knew what Blue Note was.
Cool.
So you gotta
I've got
give him
two copies.
respect.
I'm with you 100%. I'm
And
not.
I got him to sign.
When was
sign
that?
it.
When was that book? When
I
was
had
the
him
book
sign it too.
published?
I had him sign
This
it.
is the third edition. So I don't know what the original.
First
was.
edition went fast, and there's like it got translated into Japanese, right? And then there was like another
2009. 2009.
Hey, what did the guy you're thinking of from About Rob is the Atlantic Records guy? Yeah, this guy.
Send him to
Like
my
the
store.
story he walked into Atomic, who probably people say Amoeba has a good wall. No, Atomic does. So if you come to LA, go to Burbank to Atomic, go look at their wall. It's amazing. I take pictures and send them to Mike occasionally, and Joe. He sees some of the shit they have there. It's amazing.
Mhm.
But that guy came in there and bought every record that was on the wall.
I
That's
mean,
what he does.
there's a good point where it's like what Fred's doing makes a lot of sense in some sense, but I'm talking like, I was texting with a friend earlier who picked up a copy of that Patch of Blue Walt Dickerson record that you showed earlier, Rob, like Epanana Records in Florida, and I was texting him, I was like, wait, did you see like what did that go for on the last Jazz Record Center auction? Because I know it was for sale, and like, so that's a kind of record where it's like,
How much did
okay,
it?
I don't know.
Well, I'm
That's why I
auctioning
think
my
it'd be funny for us to go through the full list of like the past few months. But like records like that are a little confusing to me, but because like that's an in-store record. But like I found a copy of what's the piano trio guy? Not Elmo Hope, but it's like a Blue Note, and it's like
Horse Parlin?
What?
Horse Parlin?
No. It was like a trio
Sonny Clark?
record.
Herbie Nichols.
Herbie Nichols, yeah. So I got a copy of Herbie Nichols, right? And it's like first press, like a pretty crazy record to own, right? It's like a VG plus, but I put $800 on it, which is like absurd.
Was it a 10-inch? Was it a 10-inch?
No.
Oh no, it was the one with the Herbie Nichols going across.
Yeah. So it's first press of that. I think I put $600 or $700 or $800. If you look at the numbers, it makes sense that I did that. But like, who's gonna walk in besides the Atlantic Records guy and buy that? So should I? If I want to sell it, which maybe I don't want to sell it, but if I do want to sell it,
Dude,
maybe
if someone knows him, try and get your name in his ear.
I will. He'll figure it out soon enough.
I do have to go, but one thing I want to say about this,
I have to get out of here too.
because
Okay, we all got to go.
Bill,
Yeah, we'll go another 5 minutes.
Okay,
guys.
go ahead.
A few years ago, at one of the stores in Rochester, it's called Bob Shop Records.
I know. Yeah.
Amazing store.
Yeah.
He had gotten in this like 300 plus Blue Note collection. Everything was pristine condition, and there were people coming out of the woodwork that like no idea. There was a guy that I follow on Instagram who lives in, I think he lives in like Montana now.
They flew in. Yeah.
And he like, when I got there, it was like the day after the collection come out. He had already had like a pile of stuff. Sight unseen was going to buy thousands of dollars worth of records. And I guess the day before I got there there was a guy that lived in New York City. He was this young, like optometrist or something like that, and he
Jazz
came-
Vinyl Doctor.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't him. It wasn't
Okay,
Evan.
good.
No,
Okay.
no, it wasn't Evan. But there was this other guy, and he came in with $15,000 in cash, and he bought like I don't know how many records he bought, and everything was like top of the line. It may not have been like Jazz Record Center eBay prices, but these were like top end plus 20 to 30%, and the titles were, I mean, as near mint as you could get. I mean, in some of the ones that I got. Sometimes like Bird in Hand that I got from that collection that's like near mint, and it's
You have a
just-
first press mint? That's
first
amazing.
press. Yeah, I mean here it's
Get it out.
Holy shit! Is that a 1500? No, it's 4000.
no, it's
Can I
4,000.
show something to Billy, real
I
quick?
love that record.
I
Charlie,
love that record. Yeah, I know,
Wow,
Rob.
wow,
I know, Rob. It's in the
Yeah,
cart.
so
It was in your cart.
It's so good.
Bird in Hand. I mean, and it was this, and I was able to get a good price for it because I knew the owner. I supported him for years, but I mean, this is
Beautiful cover.
He had. I still have the price tag on the back. It was originally $12.50, and
Yeah.
I mean, and I think I paid maybe $800 for it, and I mean, but it was, yeah. I mean, it was very expensive, and I have no idea how I afforded my house that month because it was just like cash after cash after cash going to him. But I mean, there were so many people that were especially not even local. They're coming from across the U.S. There were people that were coming from like Japan that were going to spend thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on stuff, and especially for people that weren't there. It was, I just couldn't believe. But
Rob, shut your ears. But do you guys watch Michael 45 and Stunty's live streams?
sometimes
It depends on the topic, but yes.
So this one today was cool because it was like, I don't know. I hate this term, buy now, cry later. But I only watched a little of it in my car. But they were like having a discussion because that one guy has been around collecting for so long.
Thomas Dusk shows album.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. Well, that's a tight one.
this is another one. Again,
Was
same
that
thing.
at like an antique store or something, or no? You bought that there?
No, I got this at the Bob Shop. This is the same collection though. But I mean, original press. It's
That's expensive now, I bet.
yeah. And this was
But anyway,
Sneak that one in.
I forgot what I was saying. I don't even know. What was I just saying?
You
Michael
brought up
45.
the source. You brought
Oh
up
yeah,
the source
so they're
subject.
talking about how
Lower.
they're talking about how originals are going to someday be like. I think they're referring to Tribe Records. They're playing that Phil Ranlin record or whatever. And
No, they were playing the Marcus Belgrave.
yeah, they were playing a few, but when I saw it, they were playing that, and it was like saying that like it was 200, Stunty said, and then it became now it's 800 to get it, between 800 and 2,000. And wow, Joe's really just like flexing hard here.
sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's
I like that one better than Roll Call.
Yeah, that's Workout is probably my favorite. That's one of my favorite Blue Note sessions. So I was really happy to have found that
I
one.
love Dippin', and you can get that one still cheap.
Yeah, Dippin' is a really
It's gonna
great.
go up.
Hey,
Don't
hey,
go
everybody.
buy Dippin'.
I won't be the most unliked person on screen. There you go.
Am I the most
Dr.
unliked one?
Madlov.
Oh, it's Mad.
Mazzy,
Holiday
can
Inn
you,
Express.
He's not wearing Lionel Hampton's toupee like I thought he would be.
Ba, 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 da. The original
Billy,
live persona.
Billy, earlier I was talking about Steve Grossman. This is the title.
I've never
Perspectives.
seen that before. That's cool.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's on Atlantic. Yeah,
Oh wow.
so it's a pretty cheap one. I think I paid $10 for
Who
this.
plays on it?
That's the one you said.
This is the one that's a great one to start with for him. This is the first one I got.
Who's on it?
I don't think I
Yeah,
recognize. Oh, Lenny White is probably the only person I recognize.
No, Mark-
On the steel drum?
Hold on, Marcus Miller's on it, and
Oh yeah, Steve Jordan.
yeah.
I don't. But again, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know a lot of these guys. This is from '79, so this isn't his first one. This is a little bit on, kind of into his career. But yeah, this is a good one. That's a great one to start with for him.
Have you finally figured out that MJQ is not avant-garde? It's more third string. It's
Hey,
third
listen,
string,
listen,
not
listen.
avant-garde.
the guy who tells us how to act, you're not framed properly. Top of your head's cut off.
Mazzy, I think the fact that they put a record out on Apple Records is avant-garde.
Elvis.
Just that idea in general is avant-garde.
That's like a $300 record.
Yeah, I got
tell
this right at the beginning of COVID. It was 150. So
that
it's
record. Yeah,
original
I
model.
have an alert on that record. I always try and Mayburn. There he is
Oh, right. Very nice. Very cool.
with Larry Ridley, whose
Look at
Strata
that.
East record is so good. By the way,
Yeah.
Larry Ridley's.
Killer.
Get
All right, guys, I'm
Joe
gonna get out
acts
of here.
like this
Wait,
weirdo,
real quick,
but he
how's
has
dinner,
normal
Mazzy?
jazz records.
original pressing. No, I'm just kidding. I wish it was original, but
I have
That one's
yeah,
garbage.
this is the UA mono one, but still a
It's
great.
trash. Terrible
I have
session.
the music matters.
Yeah, that's a great one if you find it.
No, skip it. Not
Nor
good.
Mike. Mike doesn't know what he's talking about.
I've got the Scorpio. It's amazing.
It's about the
All right,
music, stupid.
You know, I heard your discussion. I'm torn about the thing. If a retail, it's hard enough to have a business, as Billy knows, with rent and insurance and all
Oh,
the
damn,
other stuff.
Joe.
This
So
is
if you're
original either. This
and for the odds for someone to come in to pay that much for a
Love this
record
record.
are like this. So to supplement it, to have some eBay things, you know, I would not say F you as you said, Wax.
No,
So
no.
I disagree with you
Again,
about that.
No, Mazzy,
Rob.
you pick and choose the words that come out of my mouth. I
You
said,
said
more
fuck
power.
you, Fred, literally.
No, well, I did say
Yeah, I
that.
just sold that. I just sold that.
Hold
I
on.
heard it. Wait, how many
Hey,
people here heard
beautiful.
him say fuck you,
Great,
Fred?
great cover.
Mazzy,
is an original. So this is an
Mazzy,
original.
you're not saying the things I said before. Fuck you, Fred.
Is there an ear, Joe?
I said
I want to suck you off first.
no. More power to him. He can charge. A record's only worth what people want to spend on it.
Culture
I'm
name. Cool.
He should be able
Ooh.
to get as much money as he can for a record.
Oh my, that's like a
But-
$3,000 record.
If you're going to have a
Beautiful,
brick and mortar
beautiful.
store open to the public, put records in there that they come in and can afford to buy.
Wait, I haven't been to a store in many years. Are there records in there that people want to buy still?
For the free jazz people.
I mean, Mike made a point that if you look through everything, you're going to find 2 or 3 cool records at a good price that you know, whatever. But there's a lot of records. So it's not like a thing where you could go to the Miles Davis section and find a few Miles records, or there's none. You know, it's like they're all new. It's all, which is fine. Like, that's cool that he has new records for people to buy, like, and they're all jazz. That's fine. But what made it cool initially was that you could go there and find like some like
Well, isn't that about every store? I mean, it's a new world right now, and look how much rents. I mean, especially in Manhattan. I know they're.
Oh, I know. His
upstairs.
must be insane. His must be.
Yeah, I
insane.
know they're upstairs, and that has some. You know,
Palmer and
that's
Price.
different, but that's why all the record stores are going.
Yeah,
to
hey,
Manhattan.
you know, I don't like this normal Joe. Show some weirdo records.
This is
Hey,
this is
hey, Roberto, you know who you are. You're the VC apologist for everyone except me. Why don't you defend
Roberto,
me?
we're not.
Well, I do want to say another thing, and I don't know if Billy, you were getting at this, but like Fred is kind of at the end of the game here.
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah. He's cashing in.
I'm gonna go,
Right,
guys.
I mean-
I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye, Joe.
So he's got like
I don't discredit him at all, and like it's fine. I'm just upset that it's not something that I'm like I'm double check. I'm like I don't want to go there, and I'll go to any record store, but it's so hard to get there for a lot of people.
When you get to a certain age, okay, I got about 65 to 70 MMJs. I'll sell them to anyone here right now, the entire for $25,000. So
Hey, Mazzy, how about if I give someone
once-
$25,000 to put you away somewhere?
Mazzy, I heard you the other day. There's this guy in New York who comes to the shop a lot. He might be watching. I don't know if he watches these, but he'll trade any 45 for 33, and he wants. So if you want me to connect you with
well,
him,
then, unfortunately, a lot of the ones that I have on 45, they don't have on 33. At least not on MMJs. They have them on the classics.
oh, classics. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
yeah.
yeah.
I'm with you. I'm getting rid of all. I mean, I don't like the 45s either, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike them, but I don't reach for them as much.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I don't ever. Put
It's
them
kind
on.
of like that. I got that promo of the new Craft the mono of Bill Evans. And and Rob was right about this. If they all came out from Kraft like 33s, he'd get rid of that 45 acoustic sounds box. I would too. And, you know, when you're playing them, you don't think you're not playing them back to back, so you're not missing the 45. I mean, to Rob, it doesn't matter because he's not like putting it on with some kind of sexy woman to try to get laid. I might be, he won't be. So it doesn't really matter to Rob, but for me, I'm having a cocktail and hey, you want to play some Bill Evans and want some Cavassier, and we just kind of.
Hold on, Mazzy, drink a cup of coffee because you're about to get a lot of nasty comments on your videos tonight.
They like my take is, and I know everyone it's like I notice record. It's almost like a good rhythm section in a band sometimes, where it's like you only notice they're bad, or you only notice it's not good when there's a mistake or it sounds bad. Like with records, it's like I only notice a difference in pressing if it's like bad, if like it like lets me
exactly.
down. Yeah.
Exactly.
So if you put something on that's good and you're feeling it, it could be 33, 45. It could be an OJC. It could be a Scorpio, whatever. But I mean, I try not to do that, but yeah. So it, anyway,
I don't know how, hey, I don't know how.
I'm not an audiophile, so I don't know.
I don't know how it works in Toronto, Mark, but here in LA.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my final statement, because someone said poor Fred. I don't think it's poor Fred. I think it's rich Fred, rather, you should say. But I love Ken McAuliffe, and I see him around more, and like I know what he's doing, and he's helping Fred, and he's putting these prices. And it's like, and I think that makes complete sense. I ran into him.
I like him too, actually. I like him too. I met him, and we had a great.
Yeah. I don't know either of them.
I ran into him at a store. Actually, ran into him at a store around the corner from my house the other day, and I was like, because we were talking about he had just made that video, but kind of defending it because people are like talking shit or whatever. And I was telling him, I was like, people sell comic books for $100K. It's like these are records you can play and that have lasted, and then I find much more culturally significant than a comic book. That's just my
and take. Billy, think of all those years. What is it? 20 years when hardly any of those records sold, and they kept the doors open. I mean, all the power. I know what the
I'm just
business.
Upset as a fan of the shop and I don't know how to deal with that. Where I don't want to go there, and that's maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it's not for me anymore.
Yeah. But I do admire Rob. At least Rob does the work. He goes out there looking for these records, so he should sell them for as much as he can get for them. Now, sometimes he sells them for friends for cheap.
Hold on,
I get it.
Mazzy, here's my attitude to my auctions. I do it to sell records so I can go out and buy more records.
Sure, so I have a shop.
But I do it as a form of entertainment.
Yeah.
That's exactly like Dizzy's stuff. He doesn't really
That's
care
pretty funny.
about the money. He wants the entertainment. He wants the show.
Because I do have records I could sell for a lot of money on eBay or Discogs, but I'll price them fairly. I feel like I make a good, profit on it. But I'm not here to make $1 billion off of an auction. I
wonder if these Holiday Expresses have a black light I could borrow.
It just funds me. It just funds me to be able to go out and get records.
Chris,
what's up?
Yeah.
Hey, Chris. Welcome.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Chris. Hi, Chris.
Why do we hate Fred now?
Hey, I did a challenge the other day. Nobody responded. I would like to host some.
He got drunk in my bar mitzvah and ruined everything.
I would someday like to host I did a video a number of years ago, which is one of my favorites, of the Beatles versus Kraftwerk with Michael 45, and I loved it. I'd like to do a Beatles versus jazz with all three jazz bums and me, and I will host it. I'm not quite sure.
You're insulting me on my own stream?
Yeah, I'm not insulting you. It's not about you. It's the three original. I'm not having Shemp. Shemp is not on this one. It's the original three jazz bums.
Yeah. Well, before we move on from the Fred thing, I just want to point out that Billy is a shrewd killer in business, and Fred is his competition.
It's fair.
Well, he's the younger generation of Fred.
How old is Fred?
Why do you think I'm up here killing? Why do you think I'm up here shitting on Fred?
I don't think Billy's Jewish. That's the problem.
No, I'm not. You
got to have that Jewish.
I would love to be Jewish, though. I'm ready to convert.
You got to be that chutzpah. You got to have that chutzpah.
How old is the Fred dude? How old is he?
116.
I think he's in his 80s. I think he's in his 80s.
Yeah.
80th anniversary. He's 80.
He's like the age of the Beatles.
But I'm not doing this as like a shrewd move. I'm as much a fan as a buyer. I mean, I support, I
was just teasing. Of
No,
course.
I know. I mean, I should be, but it's like, I do really, I was inspired by that. And I initially wanted to call it like a jazz shop, but I didn't want to kind of alienate. I have an audience of other friends and crowd that like are more indie and like,
Yeah,
rock.
but aren't you like around the corner from 2 other record stores?
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah,
Right?
but I'm saying if you
I'm
were,
glad you're not just a jazz store because I would never have gotten that Claudine Longet record from you.
Or the Glenn Bronco record.
That's true.
Yes,
Well,
and
that is kind of, it's
That's avant-garde, Mazzy.
that's avant-garde. Exactly.
Yeah. No, I
It's
mean,
not that-
I'm not
great.
just jazz. I listen to so much, whatever. So that I would never do that. But like, no, what you're saying next, no, because the other stores around me, Human Head, shout out Human Head, they have great jazz too. So it's not like I like to tell people, and I don't know if Human Head does this, but I send people there all the time. They don't need me. They've been around for 10 years. But like, if you want to come, this is a commercial for my shop now. If you want to go to Human Head, you can walk to my shop, and you can also walk to Superior Elevation, and then walk to Blue Sun. So like you can't do that in LA, right? But like in New York, you go to you can go to a neighborhood and hit 4 shops, and it's basically one big shop if you think about it, with different sections or like, yeah.
oh, hold on, Chris, you banned Illamax. I didn't want to ban.
I did not do it. It was not me, dude. I didn't
No,
do
that was
it.
Billy, I gotta
That was
just
me.
ask you
It's my
something.
channel.
Yeah.
Don't ban them for my channel.
If you
Okay.
host another after
Sorry,
party
Tim.
November
Yes.
1st, if you host another after party, in the fall,
Yes.
I'll be there. But I have to. If you don't have it, I have to bring a full shaker, and we have to have like even plastic martini glasses. You weren't well equipped.
Mazzy, you're giving me 6 months. I'm gonna get
I'll buy them.
No.
I need to know. It's hard for me to bring them from.
No, I'll have it shaken for you, not stirred.
Okay. I don't mind stirred, but you have to have the right, accoutrements. You work in bars.
I had just opened,
Yeah.
No, Roberto, this is off the record, but there's a chance that the after party will be at a different space.
Why is that?
Because there might be a new thing happening. I'm gonna avoid. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
But there's something very exciting that might happen, and it'll be in the city.
That's a tease. All right, we're going to be in the city this time.
Hopefully,
that
Hey.
works.
Hey, Billy's gonna have a party at Toys R Us. Everyone.
Nice.
I have to figure it out because I have to figure out an Airbnb type of thing in Manhattan this time.
Yeah, you got to stay downtown.
Yeah, there's a bathroom in Grand Central Station, Mazzy.
I mean,
I'm not moving.
Isn't
I'm
the
not
show
moving.
in Chelsea?
It's a
The
different
show's in
thing. I'm not moving.
The show's in Chelsea, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to go to Chelsea.
I'm not abandoning. I'm staying where I am. It's a different thing.
So you're having a franchise now? Like
No. It's not a franchise. It's just a different concept.
Oh wow! So it might be like a real hair salon this time, and
Yes,
Mani-Petties.
Mani-Petties and massages.
That works for me. I feel like you're the son I've actually. I have a son. Never mind.
Yeah.
Man,
the
all of
opposite.
us are Mazzy. All of us are getting very jealous. Come on.
Of what?
Yeah, you keep saying to people that you're the son I've never.
I have a wonderful son. I have a one. Billy's what, 43 or so?
Yeah.
So you're 10 years older than my son. Okay.
Yeah.
It's got weird.
My son is the age of Fred Putterman.
How's Fred Putterman?
We think he's going to meet us in Austin.
Oh,
We
sweet.
hope.
Oh, nice. Very
We
cool.
think. We hope.
Yes, let that slip out.
Oh, I mean, we're hoping. I mean, we don't know. Yeah.
All you can do is hope.
All right. Well,
No comment. Anyway, so I'm gonna actually head to do some work, but this has been fun. Thanks for hosting, Rob.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for everyone joining. I appreciate
And
it.
I love you, Fred.
Oh, hold on.
Billy, don't be a hero.
People
That's
are
exactly
picking-
right. That's
People
exactly
are picking and choosing everything I said.
no.
Oh, that was, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for kicking him off, Mazzy.
I didn't kick him off. I don't have any control of your stream.
No, seems like
All right. Well, I'm going to head out too because I have nothing to show. I have no records. So
Have you listened to any of the RSD stuff yet?
I did a video on the first batch. It's funny. I recorded a video on Sunday, and it went live yesterday morning. And or I think it was yesterday morning, and it was all the stuff I got. And literally before, right after it posted, I got like 5 more jazz records. Like I
Nice.
got the Sonny Rollins, and I got the Shelly Manne, and the 2 Cannonball Adderleys, but I haven't listened to them. I'm out of town now, so I'll do a part 2.
Before we leave, Chris and Mike,
I
you
didn't
got
do
to
it
listen-
on Max.
you got to listen to those albums. Okay, listen. Here's the deal, Illimax, you're an okay guy. Stop being a dick to people, please.
Yes, that would be nice.
Most of the time, you're an okay dude, but whoever timed you out is not important. They're just trying to be respectful to everyone else. I'm a dick to everyone, but I do it in a way. But I do it to be humorous. You're in the chat. No one knows what you're thinking. Just be cool with people. We want to enjoy your presence. Don't be a dick to people.
Yeah,
okay?
Rob can't help
You know
himself
what?
from
Here's
by
the
being
deal.
a dick.
Here's the deal. Do me a favor. Apologize to Jazz Bum Chris because I think he deserves an apology. And apologize to Jazz Bum Mike, and then we'll move on from this night. No,
Yeah.
it's not that Chris is
Yeah.
sensitive. It's so that
Yeah.
you've been being a dick to him. Don't be a dick. I think you're fine. We've had private conversations. I believe you're an all right dude. Don't be a dick to people, okay?
And
That's
frankly,
all.
Illimax, I kind of like the little bit of edge that you bring to the channel, but just sometimes you cross it, and it's just so easy to time people out that it's just going to happen. So you have to kind of think about, that too, and whatever. I mean, I guess it's unfair, but oh well.
No, Chris didn't ban you, but you,
Yeah.
Chris deserve. You've been a dick to him. Don't be a dick. That's all.
That's
Boy,
it.
this is like going to the principal's office.
Let me be a dick to Chris.
Yes.
Mazzy, can you chime in here with some words of wisdom here? Come on.
What about what?
Of being a troll in the peanut gallery and the wisdom of that.
Well, let me say this. I'm going to say defense side is that sometimes you say, I've been on both sides. You say something there, you think it's funny, but you don't hear the inflection, so you can't tell if it's humorous or not. So
that's a good
there
point.
is that. So it sometimes, but you can tell when they attack you specifically. So that's my words of wisdom. You don't always know. I mean, I attack Rob all the time, but Rob and I have an understanding. We know
No,
he's
I'm
a
serious
shithead,
when I
and I
attack.
know way more about jazz than he does. He only knows it because he's been, he's like, he bought Cliff Notes and he crams it for the last 2 years.
Okay, I'm not sensitive on this issue, but there was a guy who was.
Exactly.
I had a Instagram thing where he thought I knew more than I. Hold on, he thought I knew more than I know. Like the Jazz Bums, I was new to this 3 or 4 years ago. I'm still learning. There's no way in hell that I know everything.
I am
There's no
very
way.
impressed. Seriously, I am very impressed how much you and the Bums have learned so quickly. I mean, you guys know more
So
about the
impressed that when
detailed
you
stuff
do
that
your
I
little
don't know.
stupid stream, you're not including me in it.
Right. I do think you're right, Mazzy, about the you can't interpret the reading of somebody's
Inflection.
comments and if they were saying it to your face, you could easily tell they were messing around with you.
Right. Like when I do it, I have a smirk in my mouth. I'm kind of fucking around. But
Yeah.
sometimes you post it and you don't know. Except you can tell when someone goes overboard.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, yeah.
But when someone just does a little they're trying to be funny, and I'd say 98% of the people on these streams are just not funny. You know, I mean, they're just not. They think they're funny. And Rob and I will agree. The worst thing are people that think they're funny, but are not funny.
That's me.
Right, Rob?
Yeah,
We agree
yeah,
on that.
Wyoming David. Yeah, Wyoming Dave. You're not
Yeah,
funny.
you're not funny.
Hey,
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
better
tell you
in
one.
chat gallery
One
sometimes.
listen, one person who used to be vicious towards me is Matthew Petty. I'm wondering where that humor went. That dude used to be funny. What happened, Matthew?
Don't be so petty. Come on. Yeah. That's not
Chris,
even
what's up?
funny. That's not funny.
Chris, have you got any new records in or listened to anything new?
No. No, I've been trying not to buy any records lately. I
Same.
bought one today though.
Hey,
So did you guys get your split from Felipe yet?
Oh,
The Record
no,
Store Day records?
it should
He
be
sent
here
them-
Friday.
Wait, I wanted to ask Mike and Chris. They did have access to listening to those records. Did you? And which are some of your favorites from the Record Store Day releases?
Yeah.
From
Well, I listened to almost all of them, and the Steve Lacy sounded incredible. I thought that was really
Okay.
good.
That was my favorite
I
of them.
I only streamed the one Cannonball, and I guess it was Poppin' in Paris, and I thought that sounded incredible too. But apparently, the other one from the late '50s, it doesn't sound good. It's like just not that great of a recording. And the Yusuf sounded good. And what else?
How about Arcadum?
I thought that. Did you hear? So I feel like I tried streaming it, and I wasn't that impressed with it.
I love, it's an older recording. It's 1953.
That's what I must have been.
That's one of
yeah.
my favorites musically, and I really enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
thought the
But yeah,
mod-
I'm just talking.
I didn't like. I don't know if you probably haven't seen my review. I kind of gave like a thumbs down to the Chet Baker, Jack
Oh yeah,
Sheldon,
I did see that. I saw that.
because I thought Jack did his shtick too much, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like if you bought an album with Chet Baker and all of a sudden every other cut Rob was on it. I mean, that's kind of what it was like, and that
Was he going like this? Chet Baker was going, oh, no, no, no. And then he's going, yeah. Was he doing that?
It's kind of exactly. It's
Whatever.
like he goes, yeah, I'm stupid. It's like Maynard G. Krebs like showed up every
Yeah.
other cut.
Felipe
You
really
know,
likes
that's funny. Bob Bradley thought he liked that record.
what a Felipe.
But
Yeah.
that's what makes the world go round. So all the power,
And Ken McCall said the Sunny Box is the winner. Like
I
that's
haven't listened to that yet. I haven't listened
Well,
to that
okay,
yet.
so Greg the Vinyl Rundown said 2 of the discs sound really good, or at least one of them don't sound as good.
Okay.
you-
My
you-
favorite
you
of
listen
all
to the whole
of them,
thing?
my favorite of all of them, but it's not jazz, is Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Because musically, it speaks to me, baby. It's
We're gonna
great.
give that.
Is that Felipe? Is Felipe saying that Chet Baker's awesome?
Yes.
Yeah.
Baker's awesome.
Yeah, I just didn't. I like the Chet Baker stuff, but I thought the Jack Sheldon was way over the top. It was kitschy. It was too kitschy comedy shit. You know.
All right. You have at least one fan in the chat, Dave. You can show 3 records. Go.
Well, I just
They-
tried to get it. I just want to show you.
They
came
better
across-
be good.
I came across this original Jimmy
Oh
Smith
shit!
album.
Is that a Lexington? Can you pull the label out?
Yeah, I think I was looking at it on Discogs. It's a West 63rd, New York, 23.
Woo! Very
Yeah.
nice.
What condition? What
Beautiful.
condition is it in, Dave?
I played it all the way through except for one sort of not real scratchy, just one track. Plays excellent except for one slightly
Okay.
scratched. Plays very
Very
good.
nice. Very
What number
nice.
is
Very
that?
cool.
All right. Can I make a recommendation to you, Dave?
What's that?
Those are the kind of records you need to be showing.
Yeah.
The kind of bottom of the barrel jazz. No, that record is good.
Well, I don't order
What's-
online. I grab whatever jazz I find at 30.
Can you show it again? Can you show it again, Dave?
You show the back cover.
We just want to see what the number is.
1563. Nice.
63.
Very nice. Don Bailey.
How much
cool.
is Mike Jazz Bomb Mike? How much do you think that record's worth?
You probably, I mean, for a VG copy, you probably can get it for like $30.
Yeah, it's because it's Jimmy Smith, right?
Well, because it's the West.
You showed
it's the
that.
West
That's a
63rd.
very,
If
that's
that
a
was
very good record.
if that was the Lexington copy,
That
it'd
was
probably
never
be
a
little bit more.
Lexington, though. It was
Hey,
never a Lexington.
No?
Dave,
Oh, okay,
show those
okay.
records on my stream. Show the shitty records on other people's streams.
You're giving me a headache, Rob.
I like 70s jazz too, you know. I can't help it. I like
Yeah,
70s.
There's good. No, I showed 70s jazz tonight.
Heard of this guy?
That's
Woo.
great.
But
Big
isn't
boy.
he more blues? He's a blues singer, right?
half-
Yeah,
half-
he's bluesy.
jazz.
Yeah, he's a blues.
He's sort of half and half blues and jazz.
He's bluesy.
Whose band was he in, though? That's not true. Hang on.
Didn't he sing with bass? Did he sing with
Yeah,
the
it
big
was, it was in Basie's big band.
Here's
Yeah,
Johnny Ray
indeed.
doing a jazz album.
Johnny Ray.
Oh, with Billy
Johnny
Taylor
Ray is
Trio.
Billy
great.
Taylor's on here doing the
Johnny Ray is great. He sings like a girl.
That's weird.
piano.
Wait, so Billy Taylor Trio and he's playing piano on the cover? What the hell's up with that?
What do you mean?
Also,
Is
Also,
he singing on?
Mundell
Yeah.
Lowe is on guitar. Edmund Thigpen is on bass too.
Nice.
Cool.
So it's sort of Johnny Ray's closest to you get to a jazz album, I guess.
No, that's definitely. Can we see the front of it again?
Oh, sorry.
But didn't Johnny Ray? Did he die young? Am I wrong?
Now is
about
that a six? Is that a Columbia 6i? Is that
Yes, it
or
is.
is that okay?
Nice. Awesome.
Cool.
You remember that Dexy Midnight
Beautiful.
Drummer song? Good old Johnny Ray.
Oh yeah.
They should make a movie about Johnny Ray, right? Didn't he have a crazy, horrible life?
Yeah. Well,
All right, what else you got, Dave?
Let's go, Dave. Come on.
You're doing pretty well. You're not showing the.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Phillips
Yeah.
I've seen that before. Very nice. Beautiful. I bet you that sounds real
I
good.
haven't listened to it yet, but I know I need to get my ass and listen to some.
Very
he's
nice.
he's
Those
probably
Phillips
stoned.
sound great.
Yeah.
He's probably stoned. Mazzy, didn't you like smoke a joint with Dizzy once?
Yeah, that's I keep telling it over and over again. It's like that was a highlight of my young jazz life.
All right.
That is
You went over your
pretty
3
awesome.
record limit, by
Okay.
the way, Dave.
I'll show the rest on Jazz Bum stream. I
Wait,
got-
can you show that Julie London label on that? Those Liberty, I feel like
Oh, it's
their
a-
designs are pretty.
it's a stereo. Let me see.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
It's a stereo, black label.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Deep
I have-
grooves.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Nice.
Is that
That's
a Bobby
beautiful.
Troop production?
I'm not
Understand
sure.
the cover.
Orchestra by Jimmy Rolls.
Yeah, but
Is it Bobby Troop?
yeah,
But I think Bobby Troop produced it.
His name's not on here. Oh well.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
thank you, Dave. Good records.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here because I want to listen to a record.
Yeah, me too. I got stuff to do.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hey Rob, thanks for having me on.
Okay, no problem. You're welcome. Listen, Cindy. We're gonna meet
Sorry,
Cindy.
Jara.
Cindy, are we gonna meet you in Austin?
Yeah, she's gonna have a booth, right?
She has a booth there. Yeah. You take
right.
Venmo?
Well,
This
thank
is a
you
good
everyone for coming up. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in late, Chris. And,
Oh, I just
and-
got here and you're shutting it down already? I thought we were gonna
Well,
hang
what
out
do you
for
want
6
to do?
hours.
Tell me what you want.
I'm just kidding. I don't
No.
care.
I need
We're
to go
all
watch
stu-
Law and
we're
Order
all-
reruns.
Listen, Nicole, you're smart and we're all dumb, and that's the truth.
That's fair.
And here's the deal. Again, I want you to apologize to Chris. That's all. Please.
I'm fine. I don't care. Just don't be mean to people.
It's mean. It's from me.
Okay.
All right. Well, Jazz Bums on Friday. I have an auction on Saturday. Lots of
Oh,
good
sweet.
shit. I showed a lot of it tonight. But please come by. If you don't want to buy, just come by to enjoy.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you, Chris.
All right.
Rob.
Bye, everybody.
You guys. Bye.